Hello and welcome to another stream. We have BSL Gosuleague round of 32 groups G and F coming up. So my name is Ray and with me here is my co-caster Snipe again. Hi.
Hey everyone, hey, glad to be back. Excited for some more games here. Hopefully we have a few less walkovers than we had last week. I think we will. So we got some really exciting games coming today, I think.
Yes, so groups G and H are on the plan today and we will take a look at the players we have today. Okay, so here we have our groups. Let's do a small look. We start with Group G, of course. So let's focus on Group G for now, and then we'll introduce the players for Group H when it's actually time for Group H. So in Group G, we have two Protoss, one Zerg, one Terran. Very good mix. Group H has a good mix as well. So the first player we have is Stormtoss. Again, we'll take a look at how they did in the ladder here. So Stormtoss here in rank 34, almost 2.2k. So also the stats very nice, very good win rate. So overall, like awesome performance there in the ladder phase.
One ahead of Nyokin there, looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, Nyokin didn't play a lot of games. I mean, Stormtoss also didn't play a lot of games. He played exactly 40. You had to play 30 games to actually qualify for Gosuleague. So he just did a few over the minimum games. But anyways, he is very high. He has a good win rate. And that was a very good result here. So the next player we have is our Zerg player from Poland. It is Zoom. Zoom here with the triple Z in the ladder phase, also not far lower, also at 2150 almost. Also very good stats. I mean, these are really good players. Okay, and in spot number 3 we have Bishou. Bishou actually a pretty solid player coming from StarCraft 2. I'm not sure if he played a Brood War before StarCraft 2, but he actually did play in some high-stake tournaments in StarCraft 2. So very interested in what he can bring to the table here. Bishou, where is he? He is in rank 36. So yeah, here we can see he's a bit lower. But if you look at the stats, it's still super nice. So I think if he played more games, he would also get to the ranks that our previous two players reached. So yeah, really no underdog here, no clear favorite here so far. And our last player is one of the very few Terrans in our Gosuleague here. It is the Argentinian Zabeth. So let's take a look where he ended up in the ladder phase. So again, just a little bit lower, but look at those stats. I mean, this is a super nice win rate here. So he definitely can go way higher if he continues to play some more games. I have to say all the players didn't really play a lot of games. Here we can see Zabeth really playing only the minimum amount of games. He played actually, 31 if you count the disconnect here. And you needed 30 to even qualify. So he wasn't very active, but I mean, that shouldn't take anything away from him. His stats are awesome. So we'll see some awesome games here.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Sabbath, I know, was in Gosuleague last season, and then the season before that was Choba League. So you can see he's kind of on the up and coming here. He's rising up, getting better. I really hope we have a Terran advance today. Nothing against any of the other players, of course, but we have 0 Terrans so far in the round of 16. We got to get at least 1 or 2 in there. Like, right? We don't want all Protoss and Zergs in the round of 16.
Yeah. If we look at the past groups here, there's a Terran who dropped out. Reyna sadly didn't show up. So yeah, Thebes as well. Not the best results for the Terrans so far. So let's hope Thebes can pull through here. Okay. Yeah, so we will jump into the first game very soon. Before we do that, we take a small look at the map pool so everyone knows what maps are going to be played here. Just a very short look. Here we have our map pool. We have Eclipse, Near Sylphid, Reap the Storm, Polypoid, all basically ladder maps. Then we have Bubbles, which is basically Fighting Spirit. So yeah, it's very similar. So it should also be very known to the players. And Optimizer, I mean, it's played in many tournaments like ASL and so on. And also Benzene was around a few months ago and then recently came back in ASL as well. So I think all very popular maps here.
Yeah. I think it recently just got added to the new ladder as well. Benzene.
Yes.
Because the ladder reset just yesterday and Benzene's on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Along with
so that's very nice. Yeah, so if you plan to ladder a lot in this new season, you can maybe see a few games here on this map and already think about your strategies. Okay, so that was the map pool here. And now let's go into the game. For that we need a little moment here, just a few seconds.
Who do we have first? Is it the PVT? Stormtoss against Sabbath?
It should be the first against the fourth player, so yeah. We have Stormtoss against Sabbath. So we have a PVT here.
Alright.
The game is created. You can join.
Hopefully.
Yeah, if it's not working.
Okay, there we go.
We'll rehost.
Just took a minute. Just took a minute for me to get in there.
Okay. So with that, we are ready. And we can start the game here. So the first games here are best of 1, and only the elimination matches are best of 3 here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, and now we are ready. We can jump into the game. Let's go. Whoops. Sorry about that. Somehow the P hotkey isn't working. Okay. And now we are in the game. Yeah, I tried to press P for start, but yeah. Okay, so in the top right we have our one of the few remaining Terrans, our Argentinian player Thebes.
And in the bottom left we have our Swedish Protoss, Stormtoss, in the blue. So, Eclipse, definitely an interesting map. You know, I'm kind of interested to see what we go for here. Usually Protoss has to do something kind of more aggressive or maybe a little bit off meta, maybe doing like something like carriers here, just because it's really easy for Terran to turtle and take good engagements, push along the small chokes across the middle, and that really limits Protoss's ability to get good flanks and or have extra bases with lots of gateways in them to just outmass the Terran and constantly produce. So I would expect to see something aggressive or something a little not as standard coming out of our Protoss, but we'll have to see what they want to go for here.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So far we have no weird starts here. By the way, Stormtoss in the colors of his nation in blue and yellow here.
Good catch, yeah. Will that help him win this game? Maybe.
Not sure, but he's also the color of the eggs, I just realized. Okay, yeah, you can see here Thebes placing his depot and the Rex very close to the CC. This, of course, helps for a potential Zealot rush. So if there's a Zealot coming in here and he has a Marine, he can slip through this little gap between the depot and the barracks to really avoid the zealot here, and then just shoot him from the other side of this gap, and the zealot cannot follow. So this is the point of this placement here.
And one thing I noticed Sabbath do here real quick at the beginning was just check the back of his base, make sure there was no proxy, like make sure Stormtoss didn't sneak out an early probe and was trying to build some gateways or something here in his base before sending that SCV across. And not seeing anything, he's probably feeling pretty comfortable. Definitely a few places you could try and do some kind of proxy play. Third base would be very popular for proxying, maybe like Robo or something, because you can just easily fly it quickly into the Terran's base. So we'll see if there's anything like that going on. So far, both players playing pretty standard. Looks like Sabbath has taken SCVs off gas, so this should be some kind of an expand build coming out of him and not anything early like a 2 factory.
Yes, exactly. And this is usually also the time where the Protoss would pull his probes from the gas. He usually goes for the range here and then pulls off the gas if he wants to go for a very quick expansion. So far he's not doing that, so maybe we'll see something aggressive here by Stormtoss, but maybe he's just not doing it because the SCV is still scouting here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. He did not opt for any kind of a zealot first, so he's just going to go ahead, get his first Dragoon out, chase that SCV away, and we'll see where he wants to go from here. Third pylon coming down. So doing this, you think he might go for some early Robotech Reaver or something? Just because he is banking a little bit of extra gas here.
Yeah, so yeah, especially now that the SCV is not in his base anymore, he's still not pulling it, so I think we'll see a fast Robo before he actually expands. And maybe, as you said, we will see some Reaver, or he just wants to get the super fast observer in the Terran base.
We'll have to see. Meanwhile, looks like Sabbath's about to start his bunker here. Just playing really safe. We'll have to see what he wants to go for first. Is he going to go for vultures and mines? You know, start laying some mines out on the map, or is he just going to play it safe, get that tank out, and push back this Dragoon, and get his Expo up and running?
Oh, and the SCV actually dies to the first Dragoon, so the bunker may be a few seconds too late here. I mean, it's not like our Terran player is dying here or anything, but yeah, one SCV can do a little bit, and every little bit counts in StarCraft, as we all know.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we are having an Expo here coming down from Stormtoss, about 28 next, I would say. It looks like more like 29 or something, but in any case, not going for that early Robo like we thought he might be. But as you can see, he's banking up quite a bit of gas here now. He's sitting at 400.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah. The bunker does finish. No harm, no foul here on the Terran side. He canceled something. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was just the armory. He's just rebuilding it beside it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about this. I didn't see it. But what I saw is that Stormtoss actually ran a goon past the bunker here, so that's also a very good technique to actually confirm that the Terran did get another base, because some Terrans are very sneaky. They try to get the bunker here very far in the front, and then they go to factory all in behind that, and there's actually no CC. So you always want to like check if the CC is actually building there, and usually you're not really losing any HP. I mean, he lost a bit here, but most of the things you lose are shield points, so that's really not that bad for that confirmation that you need. The scouting is always very important.
Yeah. All right, well, back on the Protoss side, it looks like we have a second gateway and a Robo coming up. To me, this says he's probably going to go for a Reaver here still. Normally, if you're just going to go for obs, you get that third gateway. Unless he wants to tech up quickly on 2-base Arbiter or something, which actually looks like he is doing. So I stand corrected. He's not going to go for Reaver. He's just going to go 2-gate obs. So with fast Arbiter tech is what I'm thinking here, since he's already taken that second gas.
Yeah, that second gas is pretty early as well, so that might be the case here, the fast Arbiter. Or maybe also double upgrades or anything like that, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Zabet's just getting his +1 upgrade, of course, adding the second factory here. And this is usually the time where the Terran decides what he wants to continue with. He can go for some additional factories now, or he can go for an expansion. And he's pulling the SCVs, so those will plant some additional factories here. And yeah, that is a 5 factory. So he will have, or 6 factory actually. So he will have a lot of units.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for a very powerful attack here. A 6 factory +1 timing attack. This is going to be very hard for Protoss to deal with, especially if he doesn't know it's coming. Like, he still hasn't scouted the Terran, so he doesn't know. The Observer is heading over there now, but these factories are really early. He's got +1 on the way. This is going to be a very powerful attack coming out of Sabbath. And will Stormtoss have enough to defend? He's going to have to throw down a bunch of gateways right away as soon as he scouts this. He does have his 3rd Nexus coming up as well as a Forge and Citadel. So he's probably going to have to delay his Arbiter tech here for a while and just mass units to be able to hold.
Yeah, and this Observer is now scouting the factories. You can see it here. And he is confirming the factory count. So now he knows what's up. Now he will probably add a lot of gateways. And hopefully he makes a lot of units to hold this. Otherwise he could be in trouble. But yeah, we can see he is adding all the gateways. So from now on, it's just make units. You don't need to take into Arbiter now, so he banked up a lot of gas, but even if you had the plan to go Arbiters, once you scout this number of factories, you should really just make a lot of units. Get Zealot speed maybe, but then mass units. And if you hold this on 3 bases against such a 2-base all-in, you have the game anyways. You don't need Arbiters for that.
Yeah, and we do see he has started Zealot speed. I would almost like to see a shuttle or something too for some Zealot bombs on top of tanks. Yeah. He is transferring over. He's got 5 gateways coming up. Okay, 6 gateways now. But still, I mean, 6 gateways against 6 factories still isn't the best luck here. So we'll have to see how this engage goes. It looks like he's going to get a few free shots on some Dragoons. He can't be losing a bunch of free Dragoons here as Protoss.
Yeah, that is true. And I would really like to see a few more gates here. He has a probe in position. Maybe he just didn't have the room because he only has like 2 pylons in the middle of the base. Now he added 3 more. But he could have made more at the bottom. But anyways, so Zabas is pushing. Needs to make sure to not lose any stray vultures before his tanks are arrived here.
Yeah. He does have his +1 finish as well, so this is going to be a little bit stronger than it might be normally. A bunch more vultures are streaming in. He's starting to push down up here from the high ground. What does Stormtoss have? He has started making a few Zealots. Zealot speed is not quite done, but it should be finished in time to help him defend. But will it be enough?
This could be dangerous. So if the vultures are planting their mines now in front of the siege tanks, that could be very dangerous for Stormtoss here. His Zealot speed just finishes now, but the Zealots are running into the mines. And we can see 2 of them are dying, the other ones are very hurt here. And the tanks are in a good position, mines are up, turrets is up. So I kind of feel like Stormtoss is just a tiny little bit too late here.
He does have that shuttle now, though, and Zealot's loaded up. We'll see how the drops are. The tanks are pretty well spread, and he's got decent mine coverage in front of those tanks as well. Vultures are going to start picking off some probes, but there's nothing really protecting the tanks here at the moment from the Zealot bombs.
But so far good defense here, and I don't see any observers anymore, so the Zealots and the Goons, they just run into mines. Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh, that does not look good. He's losing a ton of Dragoons here. He's killed 1, 2 tanks for most of his Dragoon army. This is looking worse and worse for Stormtoss. I think Sabbath is probably going to be able to take this game here.
Yes, I think so too. There's really no hope left. He still has no observer out, not even 1 building. So there's no way he can even reach the tanks at this point. The vultures will just make sure that there's enough of a buffer in front of the tanks, and the tanks will do the damage. And with that, I think this game is pretty much over.
Yeah, there are a couple obs actually on the high ground. It looks like he's going to bring one of them back now, but that only just sees his reinforcements. He can't pick up mines and stuff. Stormtoss looks like he wants to fight a little bit longer, but all he has is Dragoons. He's got no Zealots left, nothing even in the shuttle. And yeah, I feel like this was the story of too little too late. Like, he scouted the 5-fact too late, or 6-fact, sorry, a little bit too late, and added his additional gateways a little too late. And wasn't really able to get the kind of engage he needed to stop this Terran push. And I mean, once Terran gets entrenched like this, it's really hard to stop.
Yes. Yeah, there were a couple of problems here with Stormtoss's defense, but let's see this fight first. Okay, all the goons are dying. There's really no hope. I mean, now that his natural's already down, all his units are lost. I think he has to realize that this game is over. And there is also the GG. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, strong push by Thebes. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, so maybe like Stormtoss build wasn't super optimal. He did go for a lot of gas. He did not pull his probes out of gas, but still went for the expansion before the robotics. So he had a bit of overgas, and the scouting was still a bit too late, maybe. Maybe also the zealot speed or the gateways. Just like everything a little too late, and he pays for it.
Yeah,
and that means Thebes goes into the next round here.
Yeah, nice play from our Terran player. So he is in the winner's match. He's going to have 2 chances now to advance.
Yes.
So maybe we will get a Terran through. Of course, Stormtoss is not eliminated yet either. He does go down into the loser's match, where he still has another chance to move on to the final match.
Indeed he has. And now we have a PvZ coming up between Bishou and Zoom here. We are already starting the game while I'm fixing the overlay here. So it is Zoom versus Bishou in a PvZ here. And with that, we are ready and we jump into the game. Okay, the map is Eclipse again, of course. That was the map for this first round here for all the players. And in the top right corner, we have our Protoss player. It is Bishou.
All right, and in the bottom left, we have our red Zerg BSL 10 ZZZ, also known as Zoom, our Polish Zerg. So he likes those Zs, he likes that Zerg. Fairly strong player from what I know. Don't know too much about Bishou, but as MasterReY has mentioned, he did play in StarCraft 2 and do quite well there, winning some tournaments and stuff. So imagine we'll see a pretty strong play out of him as well. First thing I'm interested on is his pylon placement here. One thing to note about this pylon placement is lings actually can fit underneath the pylon. I found this out the hard way. So if you do want to make it link tight at the bottom, you have to actually put it back in that little nook. We'll have to see if that plays in any role in this game or not, but as long as he's aware of that, it should be okay, and if he can block that hole.
Yeah, I mean, to combat this disadvantage, there is the egg on the top where links cannot go through, I think, so it's still only it should only be 2 zealots blocking this gap, and this is actually better compared to many other maps like Circuit Breaker, Fighting Spirit. You need 3 zealots, and here you only need 2 still, so I think that's still fine for him.
Yep, as long as he's aware of that, I would say for sure. Looks like we are going to have Gateway first coming out of him. Going to look to put on maybe some early pressure, but he is going to scout. Okay, he's not actually going to scout in the main and see that the gas has been taken already, or the timing of the pool, so this could be a little dangerous. Like if he doesn't get that probe in there and see that the gas is really early, he may not know that this could be potentially really fast speedlings coming his way.
Yeah, it's a really interesting timing. I'm not sure, I didn't check what gate it was, like a 9 gate or 10 gate, but in my experience on most maps, if you do a 9 gate, you can actually do a quick scout in the main and then still be in the natural to block the hatch in time. But if you do a 10 gate, you don't have the time for that. So that's always something to consider.
Interesting. Well, he does scout that this gas is being taken now. We'll have to wait and see if he wants to pull off gas after he gets 100. Looks like he is going to start doing that right away. So this is definitely for fast link speed. What will be the reaction from Bishou? Will he be able to block his wall in time? Hopefully.
Yeah, so we see the Nexus first here, and one would think, oh wow, he scouts speed links, early links here, and still goes for the Nexus. But usually this build is designed so that it is fine. You can place the forge here below the gateway, so there is no gap between the forge and the gateway, and then you have the two gaps that are blocked by the zealots, like I mentioned before. I mean, the Zerglings can still attack the gateway, as you can see, but for that you have the third zealot finishing, and then you can usually fend them off before they can like kill the gateway. Your cannon will be done by then.
Yeah. So it looks like both players are gonna be fine here. Probe's still alive, scouting around. He was checking top left, making sure there's no like hatcheries on the top side of the map here. Nothing so far. Looks like he is about to scout this third hatchery from Zerg. So what's the follow-up going to be? So far, we have no gas mining continuing out of our Zerg player. He hasn't started mining gas again.
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to see not any kind of layer, like maybe 3-hatch Hydra or 4 or 5-hatch Hydra, something like that coming up. Although we do have these Zerglings still attacking at the front here of Protoss base, and is he going to break down this gateway? It's getting really low.
Oh, and now there was a gap actually. Oh, but the probe transfer blocks the Zerglings, but not quite. Okay, this is unfortunate for the Protoss here.
I'm interested why he's sending these lings back across the map. He could run and kill that cannon with those lings.
Yeah, that is true.
And that probably would have been the end of it there. But as it is, he does have that cannon up still. A couple of lings fighting a couple of zealots here in the base. Though he did lose that overlord to the cannon, so Zerg is supply blocked for now, which is probably really good and helpful for Bishou here, because Zerg is not going to be able to make a bunch more lings and stream them across the map at the moment, which would probably kill him.
Yeah, but this is still doing a lot of damage, even if it's not killing him straight up. So many probes are lost already. And I mean, if you have speedlings in the base, there's really nothing that can stop them. If the Zerg is microing them well, he will just get some advantage out of them the whole time. It will never stop. They can always go in, do some damage to a probe, and eventually he will kill a probe again and again. Until there's a cannon, maybe, but he's going for that now, and he's killing it, but the Zerglings are all dead, so... Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't think Protoss will mind too much that he lost that cannon in trade for all of those lings. Because, you know, even one ling in your base is stressful as a Protoss player, so it's nice. Meanwhile, on the Zerg side, we do have that 4th hatchery just finishing now, and still he just now has started mining gas again. And so no layer, nothing. So I expect we'll see a Hydra Den coming down here very soon, and probably an aggressive Hydra mid-game play here coming out of Zerg.
Yeah, so he is at 100 gas already, and the drone is moving in position, and there we have the Hydra Den. He's also making some Zerglings. Okay, but now switching back to drones. Okay, so what is the choice here of our Protoss player? We have the Citadel. Oh, no. Okay, Stargate, yeah. That would be a bit late. Stargate already up here. Corsair is building. I mean, there's no overlord around his base because that one died to the cannon. So he can just go straight to the Zerg base here and scout it first.
Yeah, always a good thing. He will see the no lair. So we'll have to see what his reaction to that is. Like to see some Templar tech coming out here pretty soon from our Protoss player, just to help combat the large number of Hydras that'll eventually be made here. Looks like he's about to start that Templar Archives now, maybe?
Yes,
okay, yes, there it is. And Corsair does get in and scouts a couple of Hydras out, sees that there is no lair yet from the Zerg player, so he should know exactly what he's facing here.
Yeah. And I always love scouting the Zerg when there's no lair. That's where you know, okay, there will not be any Scourges or Mutalisks, so you can use your core there all the time to scout everything. And you can also go for some Storm Drops, maybe. So that's always a nice thing to do if the Zerg has no lair.
Yeah, very true, because he won't have Overlord speed, of course, so... looking through here. He's going to add a bunch of gateways. Also, you don't need to worry about getting necessarily an early robo to deal with any lurkers or anything as well. Just a couple of nice little things there for Protoss side. But yeah, he's just going to continue to scout around. A couple of Hydras are making their way across the map now. Don't think they're going to be able to find any real damage. They might be able to pick off a couple of these buildings at the wall, however, which would be nice, actually.
Yeah, so the range is just researching now. The speed looks like it's done already. So yeah, usually if you're not going for like a bust, usually I think most Zergs would get the range first, so they can pick off the buildings outside easy. But the cannons are very far away anyways. And will he get the forge? Yes! Okay, wow, denies the +1 upgrade. Very good attack here.
Yeah, I think he just really wanted to hard commit to that. He saw the DT there. He knew he wouldn't be able to do much more, but he's like, okay, I'm just going to go for it, try and kill that +1. And he did, which is, I mean, it's nice for Zerg. It's going to make his Zerglings have more sustainability against Zealots later on Hydras as well, seeing as we still have no +1. And he's actually going to be ahead on upgrades now. The Hydra upgrades are already halfway done. +1 missiles are done.
Yep.
And the lair is actually just finishing up for Zerg as well here.
Yeah, the lair is finishing up. Still no Spire here. I don't think we'll see it anytime soon. Also, okay, just now started it. Overlord speed here. So, yeah, we already said like storm jobs are a thing. Just in general, the scouting on the map by speed overlords is very restricted, and also you can do some damage with DTs because there are no speed overloads. So really having such a late layer makes the Protoss feel very nice, and you can see the Corsair scouting, the DT was doing damage, 4 kills, those are all Hydras I think, and yeah, we'll see. He has a sizable Templar army now. 4 storms are done, and he's also getting his surge up really uncontested. The cannons will get up in time, I think. Oh, the Hydras are coming.
Yeah, I think he felt comfortable taking the third at this time, like a little earlier than you would normally see it against 3 basing Zerg here. Just because the late layer, he had the DT out on the map, so he's feeling comfortable. The Hydras can't be on his side of the map and pressure him at all. So he's like, okay, I'll just be able to get my third up a little bit earlier than normal. Hydra speed, Overlord speed is going to be a while off, and maybe get an advantage that way. As we can see, I mean, his third base is finishing up right now, and I don't think Zoom even knows about this at all. So,
yeah. See, this CT even can secure the third base. I would really love to see him putting up at least 1 High Templar there as well. High Templar and DTs, High Templar and cannons are always a very good defense against mass Hydras. So far, he's not doing that. But okay, the probe transfer is scouted, so now Zoom actually knows here, and maybe he can attack that because there is no Templar. But he has to be careful that he doesn't get flanked by storms, of course.
Yeah. I do like the army coming out of Bishou here. He has plenty enough to deal with this, although we do have a couple of lurkers being morphed, and a Dark Archon, look at this, in the main base here of Protoss.
Yeah, and the Maelstrom researching as well, so he definitely expects like a Mutalist switch here, and it would be very strong, I have to say. He has not a single anti-air unit here.
But will he do that? Nice storms.
Yeah, the lurkers. Okay, the lurkers are finishing. Where is the robotics? Robotics, okay, halfway done in the natural here. But this means he cannot really go out now. But does he have to, really? If you already has the third base up, and you're already mining here, and it's secured, you're not feeling too bad about not moving out for another minute, because that's usually the main goal for your first move out. You want to secure the third base, but he already has it, so this is totally fine for him, I would imagine.
Yeah, we got a bunch more Hydras meanwhile streaming across the map here. Robo is finishing up, so we should start that observer tech here any second, and hopefully get those observers out, and then he'll be able to push back the Zerg army. Like, he's got not a lot of lurkers here yet, so if that ob comes out soon, he could probably break out. But the longer this goes on, the more Zerg can reinforce this, and the harder it becomes on Protoss.
Oh, loses a Templar here and like 2 Zealots. Oh my god. I mean, the first storm was good, but the second one just killed his own Zealots.
Yeah.
Oh, and wow, you can really see. Okay, nice Maelstrom here.
Yeah, taking out that group of Hydralists at least. Always nice. He does lose the Dark Archon though. Hydra's picking that off.
Yeah. So the observer is almost out here. How many Templars do we have left? We have one without the storm. We have another one with a storm, and then a third one without the storm. So we only have one single storm out right now. I'm not sure about this.
We also did have a Mutalisk switch coming in here now. Zoom is flying in here with a group of 7 Mutalisks, possibly looking to pick off some of these Templars when Protoss is breaking out, although he's setting them quite far away. Okay, he's setting them back now. First Ob is out. We got another one on the way. So will Bishou be able to break out of this?
He doesn't have a single storm right now. He has to wait a bit longer, then he has 2 more storms. But so far he doesn't have a single one. So he has to be very careful here. He can't go out like this. No, not a single storm.
And Mutas are flying in. They do pick off the Observer too, and a Templar. So gonna push the Protoss back here. Yeah, like early on, I thought, you know, with this early third base, Bishou was looking good, but as it stands now, I'm liking Zerg's position a little bit more and more. Back at home, he's got his 4th base up. Another Evo coming up. Queen's Nest started, so he's going to be going up to that Hive Tech fairly soon. And it all comes down to, is Bishou going to be able to break out of here? I'm not sure. He's got no storms.
Yeah, Mutal is killing another 2 High Templar, so I really think this game is actually over, because Bishou will not be able to push out at all in this game anymore. There's not a single storm still, and I think Zoom can even just run in and kill him at this point.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there. Like, to me, it looked like Bishou was in a great spot when he got away with that early third, but I mean, Zoom just kept at it. He got a little contained here, and I guess Bishou just lost too many of his Templars, and now he's just getting run over, as we can see. Just way too much Zerg stuff here.
Yeah, I think in the very first fight as well, he like moved out with 8 High Templars or so, and there weren't even enough Hydras to get 8 good storms in, and he lost just a few too many Templars maybe, and after that it just felt like he always had too few storms, too few High Templars.
Oh. All right. Well, we will have a TVZ in the winners match now then. Zoom against Sabbath. And a PvP correct. In the losers match. So
yes. And of course the winners match is not a game where someone can be eliminated, so that winners match is also a best of 1 here. We are creating the game right now, and then we jump into it right away.
Alright, looks like we got Reap the Storm for this match.
Yes. Okay. And we are ready.
Maybe.
Oh wow, there's a lag right now.
Yeah. You can still hear me, I can still hear you, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Alright. Well, we're both still connected, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe something on Blizzard's end.
Yeah, we just have to wait for this disconnect window to disappear, and then we'll see. I actually saw a cast of Veer last time in Gosuleague, where his co-caster also kinda disconnected, but then he was still in the game, but they were not in the same game. They were kinda desynced. It was super weird.
Interesting. Well, this is already at the beginning, so we can probably just remake it.
Yep, we remake the game here.
And neither of us actually dropped, so I think I'm still online and connected. So thank you, Blizzard.
Okay. Yeah, and we are starting the game again.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, as you said, map is Reap the Storm. That was the map for the winners match, and we are ready now and can jump into it. Here we go. Okay, so our Terran player here on the left side, it is Zabeth.
All right, and in the top right we have our red Zerg once again, Zoom. So
by the way,
ZVT. Oh, sorry.
the triple Z. There are a few players who have a name like that. That's actually an old school Polish team, a clan, and all their players have the triple Z in the beginning. So just a little side fact here.
Such as our wonderful BSL coordinator, administrator, Zero.
Yes. I also remember there are also some players who don't start with a Z in the beginning. Like there was a famous Polish Protoss called Mistress, I think, with a triple Z in the end. He was also He was also a bit popular for some wrong reasons. Like he did do a map hack in one tournament and got banned for a year or so. But yeah, still was a strong player. Okay, but anyways, let's talk about this game now. So we have a TVZ, and so far we don't have any early pool or so. We will see the drone moving out. We'll take a hatchery here, and meanwhile the Terran in the with the barracks, and we'll see if he makes a gas at 100 minerals, or will he actually go for the CC? No, it is the gas. Okay.
So we will have some kind of a tech build coming out of Sabbath here. Is it going to be mech? Is it going to be something like 111? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, from Zoom, we got to ask, is he going to go for a 2-hatch build, or is he going to go for a 3-hatch build? 2-hatch, of course, is a lot more popular now. But doesn't mean 3-hatch still is not viable. He is going to throw down that pool, and we'll see if he wants to take a gas next, or if he wants to go for another hatchery. Meanwhile, we do have Zerg just scouting Terran, seeing the gas, so he is aware that this is going to be some kind of a tech build, and will prepare accordingly. And there is that gas being taken now from Zoom.
Yes. Okay. So I remember, I mean, we are casting Gosuleague since 2 seasons already, or this is the 3rd season, I think, and I kind of want to say I remember in the last Gosuleague, whenever we casted some TVZs, I want to say the Gaslex expansion was super common, but lately I have not seen it at all anymore. So I think it's really out of trend. I don't know.
More of a meta shift. Yeah, like over the last few years, TVZ has definitely changed a lot. Like we had, that little period of time where 111 was super popular, the Goliath build was super popular, and even before that, it was +1 racks before all of that. So I feel like TVZ just keeps on changing. Like then there was Soma who made like 2-hatch replay a lot more popular, and now 2-hatch on the Zerg side is the meta. So it just feels like TVZ is going almost through these cycles where, it's 2-hatch, it's 3-hatch, it's 2 racks, it's Goliath build. It's just everything just keeps cycling, which is good. I mean, it gives us a lot of variety. It's exciting to see. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where these players want to go from here.
Yeah, definitely. And we have our Terran with the fast expansion now after the factory, and he's getting a vulture to maybe run by. I don't think he will do it. I also remember that we have seen a lot of games where just 1 vulture or maybe 2 vultures actually ended the game because Zerg didn't have a sunken. But in this case, Zoom is prepared, so this vulture will not do anything, and we will have a later game here with the lair being done, so I think we'll see the Spire very soon.
Yeah, even if with a sunken, sometimes we saw the run bys. I forget who it was exactly, but there was one Terran who did that and won like a few games just off the back of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we do have that vulture out for map control, so he's going to scout that this drone is going out to maybe take a 3rd base and be able to deny that. Very nice. Another drone is going out. Looks like the vulture's not going to be able to catch this one probably, unless he expected that and goes chases it down. Looks like no. So looks like Zerg will be able to get a 3rd base started here. Interesting location. Does have a gas, but maybe a little bit closer to Terran, making it a little bit easier for Terran to push into. We'll have to see. Looks like Terran is meanwhile going for that 2nd factory and eBay, so this is going to be a Goliath type build.
Yep, he's researching mines as well. I think that's pretty interesting. Not sure what he's really planning to do with that. He has a 3rd vulture coming, but I think without speed you can't do anything against the Sunken. You can also see Zoom is actually placing units on the ramp here. So even if Zabas tries to run by, you can see he's even repositioning here the drone and the Zergling. So he is really aware of this potential run by, but looks like he's prepared.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know if Sabbath is going to try that run by, especially without speed on his vultures. But I am curious to why he went for these mines first. Looks like he's just going to set up maybe a little bit of a light contain out here in front of the Zerg base. But there are overlords here that do see this, so the mutas are about to pop, and we'll be able to clear those mines. Maybe he's just using it to buy a bit of time. You know, keep the mutas on the Zerg side of the map, has to kill the mines, and that gives him time to get turrets and or more Goliaths out, because he does have his first 2 Goliaths popping out right now.
But I don't even think that Zoom has to clear the mines. He can just leave them there. It's not like they are hurting him. And yeah, he's actually just flying by with the Mutalisk, going to the Terran base as early as possible. But the turrets are already done. He started those a while ago, so he is pretty prepared here. Goliath range not done. Some Goliaths are done, and I think he just has a few too much turrets for those mutas. So not really a lot of things that Zoom can do here.
Yeah, I'm wondering maybe the mine here to see or stop like some kind of mass ling follow-up or mass ling muta attack early on. You know, stop a bunch of lings from streaming across the map and pairing up with these mutas and just killing Terran. So yeah, looks like he's going to be able to push these mutalisks back for now. Not going to be too much damage from Zoom. Well, we'll have to see how many factories he wants to go up to here now. He is going to add down that 3rd factory and start producing glass, but is he going to go up to 5 factories and push out, or is he going to go up to 3 here and then start teching up to vessels?
Yeah, there was a little run by the vultures here. He killed 4 drones, but lost like 6 vultures for it, so not sure if that was the best trade. Yeah, meanwhile Mutalisk killing a few turrets, but also not really getting any more damage done, so I don't know. Both aggressive actions here, pretty uneventful.
Yeah. We do have 1 Mutalisk now, just clearing out those mines that were placed in front of his base. So going to take away that little bit of map vision that Sabbath had, and now he won't necessarily know if there's a bunch of lings or anything coming out from his base. There was an SCV sent out onto the map. Zerg does catch that, kills it off real quick like. So I don't know what that was for, probably just for scouting, trying to find that 3rd base. But as we can see now, Zoom's even taking a 4th base, and he's expanding even closer to Terran now. I don't know about this. He's expanding towards Terran. Usually you're expanding away, so I don't know if this is trying to trick him and make him think, oh, I don't have extra bases. Because you wouldn't really expect Zerg to expand there against a Terran player, right?
Yeah, that's true, but I think this really signals here that he wants to stay on Mutalisk forever. Because if you take the bases that is close to the Terran base by air, then your Mutalisk can actually attack, be aggressive, and be able to defend as well.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what the plan is there. Looks like he's losing a couple of overlords here, though. Another one goes down. So he is supply blocked. Buying Sabbath a little bit of time, because he did lose a few SCVs in there to that Mutalisk harass. But so far, I mean, both players are right. We have +1 done on the Goliaths, and armor has been started for them as well. So I'm kind of interested when the push out is going to come. Like, how many Goliaths does he want to get before pushing out here?
Yeah, that's always a good question. I just saw the last ASL games between, what was it, Queen against JYJ, I think, and we saw really JYJ just mass units, and it looks like a vessel, for example. It's pretty uncommon, but we can see Zoom is really staying on. Now that I say he's staying on Mutalisk, he's actually starting both of his Hydrolist upgrades, the speed and the +1 missile attacks, but he actually got the +1 flyer attack, so he really wants to do a lot more with the Mutalisk, I feel, and I think at some point you need a vessel. I'm not sure.
Yeah. With Terran still being on 4 facts against like 4 base Zerg here, I'm a little bit worried for our Terran player. We'll see how this engagement goes. A lot of Muralisks, a lot of Goliaths, but who's going to come out on top here?
Yeah, and looks like the Mutalisks are going to win this fight, but just barely. It's actually a pretty close fight here.
Yeah, either way, I think this is probably better for Zerg. Like, he's on more bases. He's reset the Terran army, and like the Terran army is scary, most scarier, strongest when there's more of it, right? The more you get, the stronger and stronger it becomes, the bigger and bigger it gets. Just because they are ranged units, right? And yeah, resetting all of Terran's army, I really like the position here for Zerg. In fact, we can even see that Zerg is pulled ahead in supply briefly. Okay, Terran passed him back, but it's so close right now that you have to say you think Zerg is probably ahead here.
Yeah, and yeah, he's actually producing more and more Mutalisks, so he just won that fight against the Goliaths without the upgrade, and now he has the +1 upgrade completing. Oh, he actually has +1 armor already. I have not even seen that. So now he's actually on 1-1, so he has another upgrade, and I think he will win the next fight even harder if there's no vessel. I think the factory count is also a bit too low. Zabas really needs to decide what he wants to do, and he has a command center up, but I feel like he needs a vessel or more factories. He needs some more units. He can't just continue to produce out of 4 factories and expect to win the fight against the Mutalisks, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like his plan here is I'm just going to try and secure a third base, and he's playing this more like defensive style, and he really needs to be out pressuring Zerg somewhere. Not that he necessarily can, because he lost that first fight, right? His army is so much smaller than it could be. We do have a little bit of a transition into some Hydralisks now as well, so he's going to have mass Meta Hydra, and I'm worried for a Terran player. Like, yes, he's going to try and get this base, which, I mean, it could be helpful if he could hold it, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold this for long. Like, Zerg is just getting really scary. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. If Zoom actually sees this, I think he can actually just deny it straight up. There's nothing that Zabas can do. But if Zoom is not scouting it, like we see it here, Zoom is very passive on his own side with the Mutalisks, so really not active with the Mutalisks, and he is letting Zabas get this expansion up, and maybe if he gets some more turrets, he can actually hold it. But I don't think we'll see this. Zabas is actually moving out, and I think he will just get totally crushed against this mass Mutalist army.
It's funny, he had his units right below that ramp, but still doesn't know about the 4th base up there. Okay, we do have 1 tank sieging up and a bunch of Goliaths here, but I don't think this is enough. I think Zoom is easily going to be able to clear this army. Yeah. Kills the tank, he's going to kill the rest of the Goliaths, and what does Sabbath have left? He has like a small group of Goliaths back at home. There's not enough. Like, he's just getting further and further behind. We can see now he's down 15 supply on the Zerg. Zerg still has a very good group of Mutalisks here, another control group with the Hydras. He's beginning to attack this 3rd base. Like, I think this is pretty much the end for Terran. What can he do to hold on here?
Yeah, you just can't outproduce a Zerg on 4 bases who's going Mutas with upgrades. You can't outproduce them with 4 or 5 factories. I think his factory count was just too low for a bit too long, and now he just gets overwhelmed by the Zerg here, and there's nothing left but to GG here.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try and hold on as long as he can, sieging a tank up on that ramp. Zerg is even looking for another third base or a different base from Terran, but seeing there is nothing, he's probably feeling really comfortable. You know, he's mining very healthily on 4 bases, continuing to just produce units, and he can, you know, wait for another round or 2 of units if he wants and then kill Terran. But yeah, this looks pretty over. We do have Terran starting another CC in his natural here, still hoping to get another expansion going and continuing to play on, but I mean, Zerg is just too big. At this point, we can see he's 25 supply ahead. He's sending out a drone to take a 5th base even. Queen's Nest is done as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Zoom could have really just moved into the natural here, but I mean, there's nothing wrong about trying to play safe and absolutely make sure you win the game by just getting more ahead, taking more expansions, getting hive tech and everything. But okay, now Zabas is trying to move out again, and I think this time there's really nothing left for him.
Yeah, All the Goliaths go down. There's nothing to stop this sheer number of Mutalisks. And there is the GG. So Zoom does move on in
Hey.
first place in this group.
Yeah, congratulations to Zoom. And Zabas needs to win the last series in the decider match.
He still is not eliminated, but one more chance to advance. He will be playing a Protoss player. We don't know which one yet.
Yes,
But we will find that out now.
Exactly, in the losers match between Bishou and Stormtoss. And this time it is actually a best of 3 because this is an elimination match. And we are loading the game. The map for the losers, for the start map for the losers series is Optimizer here.
Should be an interesting map. Wonder how it will play out here in this PvP.
And the overlay is getting prepared here. And then we jump into the game. Okay, so this is a best of 3. Okay, so we are ready. Let's jump into it. Okay, so again, map is Optimizer, and in the bottom, bottom was definitely the wrong 50-50 choice here. In the top left, we see Bishou.
All right, and in the top right, we have our Olive Protoss Stormtoss.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah. So go ahead.
Both players here, Protoss, and both player from Sweden as well. So I could imagine that they actually played against each other a few times and they maybe know their strategies a bit. They know how the opponent is playing. Could be interesting.
Yeah, sometimes when you do know that, like you play with somebody a lot and you know their strategy and they know yours, sometimes you do want to mix it up a little bit and try something you know they're not expecting to either try and counter them or just do something completely different, because there are builds in this matchup that definitely, you know, will hard counter or counter what your opponent is doing. And sometimes you'll get unlucky and, you know, you'll have the wrong build against what your opponent is doing. Most builds can fight at least decently against some builds, but you will get either behind, can get behind or ahead early just based on your build. But we'll have to see. Looks like Stormtoss is scouting correctly and will find Bishou here right away. Whereas Bishou is going to find him probably last unless he goes cross map after first scout here.
So the builds are pretty identical so far, but we see one big difference here, and that is in the top right corner of your screen. We see the APM 400 against below 100. So we'll really see Bishou is an APM spammer and Stormtoss is definitely not. That's interesting.
Yep. Well, we are going cross map from Bishou. Having seen the timing of the scout probe coming into his base first, he just deduced or assumed that Stormtoss was definitely close to him, and he is going to be happy to find that he did scout him second here, and is going to see that there's no 2 gate coming. He's going to see the core, and everything is looking pretty standard here from both players so far.
Yeah, second pylon for both players, the core for both players, and usually the way PvP works is you get your first goon, then you kill the scout probe, because if you have a zealot, sometimes you get a zealot, but that is usually not catching the scouting probe, because if the other player is aware and pays attention to his scouting worker here, he will not lose it to a zealot, but the first goon will actually kill it, and then we'll see the tech decision, the strategy decision here. But meanwhile, a very nice mana pylon here, 4 probes trapped in there.
Yeah, he does manage to get all of them out but one, so that's nice for him. Didn't make a zealot, however, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to kill this. It looks like he's just going to attack it with 4 probes and the Dragoon just to kill that as quickly as possible. I would say definitely kind of worth it for him. This is why you usually will see a zealot first. Zealot will handle a Manor Pylon a lot better than a Dragoon will.
Yes, for sure.
All right, so now that the probes are gone, we get to see what strategies our players want to go for, and it looks like Bishou here is going to go 3 gate without any robo. So he's taking a big risk. He's saying, I think you're not going DTs. I'm just going to mass a bunch of units and try and kill you. Meanwhile, it looks like on Stormtoss' side, we do have a Citadel coming down. So he is going to be going for DTs, it looks like.
I have to tell a little side fact here. I did play against Bishou in the Nation Wars League, and he played very interesting strategies against me. He did actually go for super fast DTs into... No, was it DTs into mass goons or mass goons into DTs? Anyways, it was all one base from him, and it was very risky what he did. And it looks like that's the same what we see here, just 3 gates straight up without any detection.
Yeah, so I mean, if Bishou's gonna have to get like a forge really quickly if he wants to defend this. The Templar Archives is almost done. So, I mean, he has no idea this is coming. I think this game's going to end here in a few minutes, right? Like,
yeah.
What can he do?
Yeah, there's really nothing he can do. I mean, there are variations for the 3 gateway strategy, where you get a robotics first to get an observer, and then you add 2 more gateways and go for mass goons. So, seeing 3 gateways is not always an all-in. But in this case, it is pretty much an all-in, because he's totally skipping the robotics for some more goons here. And I mean, the goon count is nice, and this attack is actually working super nicely. But he will just have no detection. But now that he killed all the goons, those DTs kinda have to defend, and they can't go on the offense. Otherwise, he will just lose all the probes here. So maybe he can still take the game.
And we do have the forge started here on Bishou's side of the map, but one DT is going to go across right away. How many probes is he going to get? Like, if he kills most of the probes here and is able to defend the DT, he will win. Forge is finishing, but he still has no cannon started. DT is definitely going to get there before there's a cannon done, so will he be able to get into the main and kill those cannons?
So he decides to get the cannons in the main instead of in the front, so that way he's saying, okay, I just want to survive. I don't want to get a natural up. I want to survive. And this is definitely the correct choice here. But it will be close. But I think the cannons are just ready in time here.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to finish those cannons. The DT is attacking one cannon by the gateways, which is going to let the cannons in the mineral line finish. So Bishou is fine here. He did quite a bit of damage. He killed a lot of probes. And now all of a sudden it looks like Bishou is in a better position here.
Yeah, and yeah, since he just got 2 cannons in the mineral line and his gateways are a bit far away from his mineral line and his nexus, he actually has to get a 3rd cannon, and with that he can still not get an expansion, so he actually also needs to get a robotic. So a lot of resources spent here for Bishou, but I mean, he killed so many probes that I think he's actually still ahead after all of this.
Yeah, I mean, we can see he's down, Stormtoss here is down 10 probes. So he really needs to get something more done with these DTs, and he can't really. There's enough cannon spread. He could pick off maybe that pylon in the top right corner, but that's not going to do too much to Bishou. So once observers are out, I think he's just going to be able to mass up enough Dragoons to go across the map and end this game.
Yeah. Stormtoss adding a 3rd gateway, but I'm not sure if he can actually catch up to the unit count that Bishou already has. And with that observer coming out very soon, I think Stormtoss really has nothing left here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate he didn't see those Dragoons coming across in time. If he did, he could have been back, in his base with a little bit of a cave, just slowed that down enough to get those DTs out, maybe defend a little bit easier. But, as it is now, that observer's going to come out. We're going to see Bishou go across the map, and will Stormtoss have enough to defend? I really don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. And I have to say, that was a big risk of Stormtoss to be outside with the goons. I don't really understand the point.
Yeah.
I mean, you can deny scouting a bit and so on. You actually keep your opponent in the dark, whether you have an expansion or not. But I mean, this cost him the game. He had his 5 goons in the beginning of the game, he had it outside, and if he just had it inside, he would actually survive and then probably kill Bishou with the DTs. But now, we'll see. The attack is coming and he will probably not have enough to survive here.
Yeah, we got 11 Dragoons here from Bishou. We do have 11 units as well from Stormtoss, but there is a couple extra Dragoons, so who is going to win this fight? DTs are going to go down.
Yeah, and DTs are really not that good if there is detection, so the 11 units of Bishou are easily gonna take this fight, and with that Stormtoss has nothing left but to GG.
Right, so Bishou takes game number 1.
Yeah, so he did play a super risky strategy, but since Stormtoss just kept his 5 goons outside of his base, he still loses the game, so that's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, I think his DT tech was a little bit later too. Like the additional gateways had started earlier than the Citadel, so I think just the harassment from the Manor Pylon and everything just kind of slowed him down. Even if it did, like he had the resources and just put his Citadel down a little bit later, so the DTs came out a little bit too late to help him defend that. I think.
Yeah. Okay, by the way,
we'll see if he can bring it back. Sorry,
yeah, we are going into the next game, but I wanted to mention that we are always reading the chat, guys. So if you have any questions, any comments, just go ahead, put them in the chat. So there was a question here. Is this live or from replay? This is from replay. And then another question, what MMR is Stormtoss? I think if we take a very quick look here, Stormtoss, I can show you here, he was in rank 34 with 2178 MMR. So he's one of, I think he is the highest player. Yeah, he is the highest player of this group, MMR wise. So that's what we have here.
Okay. But he is also one game from being eliminated from the group first, so.
Yes. Okay, and the game is prepared. Let's go. Okay, so in the top right corner of the map Eclipse, we have our Protoss being one game away from elimination. It is Stormtoss.
And in the bottom left of Eclipse, we have none other than Bishou, who is up a game. With a win here, he will go on to the final match against Sabbath. Yeah. So we'll have to see what our players have in store here. So far, Gateway from both players. It looks like Stormtoss is going to scout after Gateway, and Bishou is not. Knowing that this is a 2-player map, you can delay your scouting a little bit more. If you would like to, get a little bit more extra resources there before going out and scouting, because you know exactly where your opponent is. However, if they are doing something like a proxy, it can be a little bit more risky. Do see Bishou checking the top of his base just to make sure there's no pylon or anything in there real quick, and then he's going to go ahead and scout with his probe after gas here.
Yeah, exactly. Always, like I always scout in this corner here on this map as well, because it is very good to just send your 5th probe across the map and build the pylon inside of your opponent's main base, and then you can just get a quick win if he doesn't scout it. Sometimes even if he scouts it, it's pretty hard to defend. But yeah, just a quick information for you, I switched the colors to red and blue here. So Stormtoss is red and Bishou is blue. That's a bit easier to see than the dark blue that Bishou had before.
Alright. Yeah. Okay, I got him switched now as well. So, yeah, we have scouting going on. Both players are going to see, okay, this isn't 2-gate I'm facing. Pretty standard, got the core coming down pretty much at the same time here. So, nothing out of the ordinary. They're usually not going to see anything else. We do have another Manor Pylon, though, coming out from Bishou. It seemed to work out pretty well for him last game. Will it do the same again here?
Yeah. Yeah, I really prefer to get the Zealot in the beginning. The Zealot, it can do so much. It can prevent the Mana Pylon. It can attack the Mana Pylon in case it really goes down anyways. It can chase a scouting probe. Even if you don't kill it, it takes a lot of attention away from your opponent. And you can defend a possible 2-gate attack a little bit better. So this first Zealot, I think it's so important, and not getting it here, we can really see him pay the price here. He's also not... Yeah, he's not killing this Mana Pylon, because now there's a Zealot coming in, and this Zealot is even getting some probe kills. One is already dead, Let's see if
Will he
gets
get another one?
more.
Yeah. Looks like maybe not.
Oh,
He
and
does
he
get
gets
it.
another
Okay.
one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
back to what you're saying. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, just not making that zealot, because the zealot would have helped kill this mana pylon or helped defend that other zealot coming in, like you said, or it can help defend 2-gate. It's just you don't see players go Dragoon first much anymore in PvP. You usually see that zealot because it's like it's safer, and like you said, all the other options you have with it. So as we can see now, Stormtoss is down a couple of probes here just from that one zealot Bishou sent in, and the mana pylon has slowed him down a little bit as well. We do have a robo coming down from both players, which I guess actually Stormtoss's robo is a little bit ahead, so maybe Bishou is focusing a little bit more on the micro, but we also see he's getting a second gateway, whereas Stormtoss is planning to stay on just one gateway, it looks like, for now.
Yeah, he just I checked the minerals in the moment that Bishou placed his second gateway. Stormtoss almost like he had 50 minerals, so that was definitely part of the mana pylon here and him losing 2 probes. So that could make the difference in the end. So if both players have a shuttle and a Reaver and they are in the open, and Bishou just has a few more goons because he has 2 gates up, then he will just win the fight probably. But I mean, I'm going 1 gateway robotics very often on ladder as well. So usually this is designed to not be aggressive, but just secure a fast expansion with the first Reaver.
Yeah, you can do that as well off the 2 gateways, like Bishou here has. Both are perfectly viable and almost like what you would call a standard way of playing this matchup. But like every single build in this matchup has another build that can either soft or hard counter it, so just something to keep in mind. Looks like we are going to have an expansion probably coming up from at least Stormtoss here.
Yep.
We'll have to see if Bishou wants to go for that as well, or if he's going to try and keep massing goons and go for a push.
Yeah, I think if you get the second gate, you just don't have the minerals if you're actually using the second gate. So if you're using it, you don't have enough minerals for the Nexus. And if you're not using the second gate, why build it in the first place? Then you would just get 1 gateway, in my opinion. So I think when we see a second gate, we always see at least some aggression of the player. And we can see Bishou going across the map already. And maybe he can deny the space. I'm not sure. It's 6 against 6 goons here. And the Reaver's not out. If he has better micro here, he can actually do some damage.
Stormtoss did see this coming with that probe going out, so that's nice for him. At least he can get into a position here to try and deny this. If he gets that Reaver out, he should be fine. Looks like Bishou has no intention of pressing in right now, but he is just going to go in with the Observer, scout around, see what's happening. Does see that there are 2 gateways, or a second gateway just starting now, so he should know that his Dragoon count is higher, even though his Nexus is going to be fairly slower.
Yep. Yeah, the probe count is pretty even as well, and with that faster Nexus, I think Stormtoss can eke out a little advantage here with the double probe production. Also has the second gateway completing, so he will almost match up the unit count. Of course, Bishou will be ahead a bit because he had the second gateway earlier. But I think the most interesting part to look at is now what will Bishou do when the shuttle is actually done. Will he go for an attack with that run Reaver and the shuttle, or can he not do it? We'll see.
We did see Stormtoss chase down that Observer in his base of Bishou's, which is always nice. I don't think Bishou's going to be able to attack even with 1 shuttle Reaver, because there are now 2 Reavers out for Stormtoss, and the shuttle is going to be done, or is started, so he will be able to defend pretty nicely. If Bishou did go for some sort of an attack here on the front, I do think Stormtoss would come out at top and possibly gain an advantage from this, because we do see his supply is a little bit lower, but probe count is even, and he has been mining from his natural a little longer than Bishou has.
Yes. Well, overall, since both players have the Nexus up and the probe count is pretty much even, I mean, we have Bishou finishing 2 probes any second, so I think we are ready for a pretty even mid game here. We see the first Reaver drop, and there are no goons in position. Can that Reaver drop be nice? No reaction by Stormtoss at all. Okay. one probe. So that went way better than expected. 2 scarabs killing 1 single probe. It looks so funny that, well, the probes were pulled away, but the goons were just standing there, not reacting at all. But yeah, in the end it was fine.
Yeah, and even that forcing that probe pull is a little bit nice for Bishou. You know, having the later expansion, just lets him mine a little bit more, a little bit quicker, catch up a little bit in the resource department there. So I mean, it would have been nice if he could have got a bunch of probes for him, but even forcing the pull is good. So meanwhile, we do have, it looks like Bishou's placing random pylons here out on the map. This, of course, is to help gain extra vision. So, this pylon, this probe kind of at the bottom right base, pylon down there as well, just to give him vision all around, right? So he can see if shuttle is flying in and have more warning, be able to pull his probes and react in time to not lose a bunch.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, so what is the plan here for the transition into the mid game for both players? We still see no additional tech for Stormtoss, so no Forge, no Citadel, nothing, just Reavers, more Reavers actually.
3 of them.
Will probably go up to 4 even, very soon. Meanwhile, mass gateways by Bishou, but also no Citadel and no Forges, so they just want to stay on mass goons and Reavers. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. We're seeing this little Reaver dance that can sometimes happen in PvP. Both players trying to hit the other's Reavers and then fire and pick up. Oh, looks like he will kill one of them at least. Nice little pick off there from Bishou.
Yeah. And if Stormtoss is not careful, he could get the Scarab probes here. Oh my god.
But if Bishou's not careful, he could lose both those Reavers and the shuttle.
Oh my god, okay. So both players here in very dangerous positions. Also Bishou losing some free units here. Still aggressive with that run Reaver even without the shuttle. He's just going for it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to lose that No, the Reaver stays alive. Nice pullback. Looks like he's going in for the dive. Is this going to be enough? Stormtoss has a bunch of Dragoons in his main that aren't really fighting. He should really get those into the fight, but I think he's going to be able to hold here anyway. He is going to lose all of his Reavers by the looks of it, but he's going to kill all the Dragoons here from Bishou as well in the process.
Yeah, but remember, he is on 6 gateways here, and he has a lot of goons, and with both Reavers dead, and the micro is really not good here for Stormtoss. He's just running into a concave in a line, and I think he could actually lose the game because of that.
Yeah, he had a bunch of Dragoons in his main that just weren't in the fight. Had these Dragoons been here, he would have had way superior numbers and be able to defend this a lot easier. Looks like he will temporarily hold. He does have a Reaver out, but is this going to be enough? He is building a second Reaver, masking up Dragoons, but he's building up quite the bank. Like, he's got almost 1.5k minerals here. If he had spent that, if that were Dragoons, like, he would have more than Bishou has here, but as it is, it's kind of a close fight because of it.
Yeah, we have the same probe count pretty much. We have 2 bases for both players. And we see Bishou just continuously producing out of 6 gates, while Stormtoss is still on 4 gates for the whole time. So obviously he's building up a bank, so he really needs to spend that. But he is doing that right now, so he adds 2 more gateways and is transitioning into that storm take. Is there... Okay, hold that thought. We have a dive again here, and the Reaver can be saved.
I don't know about this, yeah. He's diving into 2 Reavers. I don't think that was good there for Bishou.
Yeah, definitely not.
Lost a bunch of Dragoons there for free. And yeah, if this game goes on and Stormtoss is able to hold, he is going to have that higher tech like you're mentioning there. Like his Templar Archives is just finishing up and we don't even have a Citadel started yet on Bishou's side. He's actually just going to go ahead and add the 7th gateway here on 2 base. So looks like he likes to play maybe a lower base, mid-game tech kind of style with just massing a lot of units.
Yeah, just mass goons, but mass goons will not cut it when the Zealot speed and the storm is out. And I mean, Stormtoss, he's just staying in a super nice defensive position. He has this very nice arc, this very nice concave even on the high ground there with a few units. So that was a really awesome hold here by Stormtoss, and now he can just make mass Zealots and some Templars, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the supplies we can see are very, very... In fact, they're the same, including the worker count. same number of gateways. The only difference is Stormtoss has this higher tech, right? He's got Zealot leg speed on the way. He's got Zealots coming out. He's got DTs that he's making. He's got Storm on the way. So I like his position a little bit better, despite being pretty much even in everything else. He does have that tech advantage, and he is going to go ahead and take a faster third base here. Looks like only slightly, as Bishou is about to start a third base as well.
Yeah, and also the +1 pretty far ahead for Stormtoss here. I think if Stormtoss attacks with this +1 upgrade, with Zealot speed and Storm ready, all at the same time pretty much, with the +1 upgrade, I think he will just straight up kill Bishou here. Because, I mean, you just mentioned the supplies were exactly even, but you can see, you can just produce Zealot Templar so much quicker, and you can see Stormtoss ahead like almost 15 supply when he starts another round here, and that could really seal the deal here. Still a lot of goons, just mass goons. Oh, I hear a DT here somewhere.
DT canceled the third base of Bishou, yeah. There's
nice.
no observers out in the air. Couldn't even go and save that. So nice play by Stormtoss. That's just going to get him even further ahead here. Like his third base is going to be done, and there's going to be no third base even started here for Bishou. Meanwhile, he's on so many Dragoons. He's got a few Zealots mixed in, but he has no leg speed for them. He doesn't even have a Citadel yet. So he's really committed to this, mid-game kind of army composition with Dragoon Reaver, and it looks like he wants to go for another push, and I don't know if this is going to work out for him. Like, there's Storms ready, there's Reavers, there's Zealots with leg speed. He's got his +1 done. I don't know. I don't like this attack here.
Yeah, the only thing that could work if all the Zealots from Stormtoss clump up against the Reavers. But so far I don't see it happening. Nice Storm by Stormtoss here, and another one. Nice Storms also on the Reavers. Perfect Storms. Does he have another one? I don't see another one. And he's fighting low ground against high ground, so this is careful.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The one nice thing, he does have this low ground or high ground advantage, which is actually helping him win this fight.
Yeah.
But the reinforcements are just too much. Yeah, it looks like Stormtoss's reinforcements just too much. Bishou knows he's done. Looks like there was actually a Reaver drop too here in the natural at the same time of Bishou.
Oh yeah, 18 kills.
Reaver's got 18, kills. Looks like it's about to kill a few more there too.
Yes. Is the Scarab going to the furthest probe, farthest away here, instead of going to the many clumped up probes right in his face?
Yeah.
Always nice.
That's a Reaver for you. But yeah, no, Stormtoss does take that game and ties us up 1-1. So winner of the next game will go to the final match, while the loser will be eliminated from BSL.
Yeah, I don't really see the plan here for Bishou in that last game. The just mass gateway, mass goons, just staying on these pretty much early game units, not really transitioning into the tech units, and just basically going for an all-in at this point, when I don't think he was forced into that. He could just play a normal game, but he decided to go for that mass gate, mass goon all-in, and we can see once the Storm is out and the Zealot speed is out, that is usually not gonna work if you're not already ahead, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to see what their plans are for this game, elimination game now.
Yes, and we are jumping into it. The map is Polypoid, so that is the choice of Bishou here. And yeah, their cross position in the top right, we see our winner of the previous game. It is Stormtoss.
And as you said, cross map in the bottom left, we have Bishou representing his Swedish colors in blue and yellow.
Yes, because we actually switched to blue and red. Because
he's actually magenta otherwise. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I better just keep it blue and red. Let's see. A few comments from the chat. Hello, Evil Bringer.
Oh, here we have a interesting hypothesis by Avilov here in the chat. The APM of Stormtoss is so low because he has so much intelligence. I guess intelligence plus APM needs to be the same number every time. So yeah, I'm not sure about this. We'll see.
Don't underrate Mascoons PvP. That's like best scarab in ASL today. Hey, no spoilers. I haven't seen that yet. No. We do have a raid from Gypsy of 75 players. So welcome everyone. For those who don't know, we are casting BSL Chobo League. Round of 32, groups G and H.
Exactly. And this is the loser series here. So the loser of this match will drop out of the tournament, and the winner will have the next chance to advance against Thebes in the decider match here. So let's take a look, because we have an interesting, very interesting opening here for Bishou. What do you think of this?
Yeah, we have 12 Nexus coming out from him. We'll have to see which version he wants to go for. Is he going to get 2 gateways off of this? Is he going to get a gateway and a forge off of this? I guess we're about to see here. Stormtoss is about to scout this. We'll have to see what the reaction is. Now, there are some tricky things you can do against a 12 Nex. Like, you can just go for your own kind of contain, Reaver push him with cannons and stuff. We'll have to see if Stormtoss opts for something like that. Like, 12 Nex can be dangerous. However, the fact that it's cross map makes this a little bit better for Bishou.
Yeah.
But we will see. It looks like he is going to go for that 2 gateway variant and add in his gas. So what is the reaction of Stormtoss going to be, having seen this 12 Nexus now?
Yeah, it's so hard for Protoss to scout the Nexus first and its cross position, because at that point when you scout him in the second position, it's just really too late to actually do a nice reaction and punish him straight away. So I really feel bad when I am in the position of Stormtoss here. So there are some options you can do. You can just go into a fast expansion, like cancel all of your units, go for the Nexus yourself. Then you are slightly behind on the Nexus, but you can still like play a game from slightly behind. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Or you can just go for mass goons and try to break him, or you do what Stormtoss is doing here, going for the super fast DT, and this is clearly an all-in. If there is a detection for Bishou, game is over.
Well, Stormtoss has scouted. He did scout that this was the 2 gateway follow-up. So he knows there's going to be no early detection. He knows like a robo is going to be too late. So Bishou really needs some kind of forge to defend this. Like, oh! I thought that probe was about to get in, and he was going to scout that.
Close.
So
one.
probe does not get in. Yeah. We still do need to see a forge come down very quickly from Bishou, or this game will end pretty quickly. Yeah, it's done. The DT has started. It is being built. There is no forge. So, okay, forge has started now for Bishou, but will it be in time?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think if he starts it right away, like 2 cannons at 2 positions, I think at least one of them will finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it will finish, actually. If he starts it right away in the front, even, it will finish.
Well, DT is about to pop out, yeah.
He needs to start it immediately. And he's doing it. Okay. Even a second one.
Yeah, it looks like he's pushing out with a few units, so he may even notice this DT coming across the map.
Yeah.
Hopefully that DT is not on attack move. Okay, it is not. The question is, did Bishou notice that or not?
I don't think so, and sometimes the DT can still just run by if he sees, okay, the cannons are almost done, but I think the cannons will just actually complete before he arrives here.
Yes, that first cannon is just finishing now, so he is going to hold this. Now, what can Stormtoss do? I would say this is good for Bishou. Like, he's going to be able to get away with the second base and way earlier. He's got, that income coming way earlier. Stormtoss does have this higher tech, so you might be able to do something like place a robo and maybe go for a DT drop, try and catch Bishou without cannons in the main or something like that. But yeah, like, it feels bad for Stormtoss, right? Like, you know you're a little bit behind at this point. You do have the tech advantage, but how are you going to use it?
Yeah, you have scouted the earlier nexus, so you know you are behind economically, and then you go for the DTs, and they do no damage, so you're even further behind. This must feel bad for him. And now, I mean, he's going for the storm. There's no robotics coming, so no possibility for like a drop or anything. So it looks like he just wants to try to build up. But one thing is really interesting. So actually, I don't even think that he's behind, because if we look at the worker count, Stormtoss with the super much later expansion is actually ahead by 4 workers. So this is huge for Stormtoss.
Bishou did build a cannon in his main, predicting that there would be maybe a DT drop coming, but this is actually kind of crazy. We see Bishou going straight up to 7 gateways here. Stormtoss is still on 1. He's just now adding a couple more, but Bishou's planning for like a really strong mass unit attack here coming up in a couple of minutes. And I don't know if Stormtoss is necessarily going to be ready. Like, he's still only on 1 gate production. He is adding a couple more, but he's going to be, what, 4 gateways against 7 still?
Yeah, but if he's in defensive position with the cannon, with the storms, I think he can hold this. If Bishou is just going for like a million goons again and runs into 5 storms, I don't think it will work. But you're right, Stormtoss needs to add a few more cannons. He's getting a lot of other stuff, like he's getting even 2 cannons in his main base. He's going for the upgrades, he's going for the goon range. I don't think you can do everything at the same time. He should just make Templars and sit on his defensive position, but he's just trying to get everything, and this could come back to bite him here.
One thing I will say, though, is like Bishou completely stopped making probes during all of this. You can see the difference in worker count now is way in Stormtoss's favor. So if Stormtoss does hold this, like if he is able to defend this, he's going to be way ahead in economically. And like this is pretty much an all-in almost here coming from a Bishou. So he's got to make a lot happen.
Oh, that last storm was nice, but I think he doesn't have enough storms. Is there another storm? No, there's not. 2 more goons coming, 3 more goons coming from the high ground here. 1 storm is almost done, but with the reinforcements coming from Bishou out of the 7 gates, I don't think it's enough for Stormtoss. I think he did a little too many tech things at once and doesn't have enough storm here.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe if he could pick off the OB and get a DT out or something, but he is not going to be able to do that. He's got no detection of the Observer. Another storm does go. Oh! Almost kills the Observer. Look at that, 5 HP. If he would have gotten that, a couple of DTs would definitely buy him a lot of time here.
Yeah. But I think now this game is pretty much over.
Yeah, he's still got... I mean, he's still defending. He's still holding on for now. The probe count has evened out quite a bit.
Okay. There's another Templar. I didn't see that. There's another Templar in the middle line. So another storm is ready. So I think, yeah, he could hold this. We'll see. This next reinforcement wave will decide everything, I think. Will he manage to kill Stormtoss here, or will the storm be good enough to hold this?
Here it comes.
I think it was pretty good. Zealots running into the cannon as well. I think Stormtoss got this.
Yeah, I think he's going to defend, but he lost a lot of probes during that. So, although he defended, the economies have pretty much evened out here for both players.
Yeah.
So, like, despite the way that looked, it looks like we may actually be able to go into a somewhat normal mid-game. And for Stormtoss, he does have this extra tech. Like, we can see even like last game, Bishou has only just started a Citadel, so he's really behind on tech. So I almost like Stormtoss's position here a little bit better, despite him being down 10 supply. It's just all in units. Their worker counts are even. He's got more tech.
Yeah. In the end, the higher tech will usually win, except if the other player is like already 2 bases ahead or has like 50 more supply or 50% more supply. But if the game is pretty much even, as we can see here, the supply is only like 10 apart or so. the higher tech usually wins, but we can see in this game Bishou is actually transitioning as well. He's actually getting the zealot speed. He's adding a forge now for upgrade. I mean, he already has a forge. Maybe he's not realizing that because it was such a weird game. And now he's getting the Templar Cave as well.
Yeah. Stormtoss is also ahead on upgrades, mentioning the forge. He is 1-0, whereas Bishou is still 0-0 and has no upgrades on the way. So if this goes on too much longer, we're actually going to have a 2-0 Stormtoss against a 0-0 Bishou. Plus he has Templars, plus he's got like an Archon, whereas we just have mostly Zealot Dragoon from Bishou. He is taking that third base, so if he is able to get a third base up and running, maybe he can fight back a little bit. He is still ahead in supply too, just barely. But I still like Stormtoss's position a little bit better with the extra tech, like we were saying.
Yeah. And now he can just produce mass zealots as well, so he will, I think, get ahead in supply. If he adds a few more gate, he's still on a lower gateway count compared to Bishou. He is loading up some units into a shuttle, and that shuttle is still sitting in the natural. I think it will fly out very soon. But one interesting thing. Okay, now he started actually. Bishou did start only one upgrade in his 2 forges because he probably the game was so weird. Sometimes the buildings are developing in such a weird way because that first forge was like a panic anti-DT forge and not a normal forge timing together with the citadel. So maybe he forgot about it, but he actually realized and started the second upgrade now. But yeah, as you mentioned, Stormtoss will be ahead 2 upgrades in a few seconds here, and I mean he could go for like a timing attack 2-0 against 0-0, but with the high ground for Bishou, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, but he is flying in here with a shuttle now, and there's nothing really in position to see this coming or to defend it. There's no observer over the cliff. There's no cannons here. Well, what would be the reaction? Like, it looks like no pull as of yet. He is going to get at least a few probes with a couple of these storms.
Ooh.
Okay, nice storms.
Yeah, nice.
He got 5 with the one. I don't know how many he got with the other, but he does pull ahead here in probes. We do still have that extra nexus though for Bishou.
Oh, another one.
Oh, that could have been so good.
Yeah, that could have been so huge, but he missed the storms. But anyways, it was still a good drop. He still has that one High Templar, and he's also scouting the base here, dropping the Templar out that already stormed twice. Yeah.
He did force a little bit of a pull, even if he didn't have a storm left in there, so that's nice. Looks like he may end up losing the shuttle, though. He just kind of left it there for the Dragoons to pick off. Bit unfortunate there for him. But we do see, excuse me, he passed Bishou in supply. Bishou does have that extra base on him, so he is going to go ahead and take his third base now. But I like his army composition better. I mean, he's got Templars, he's got Speed Zealots, he's got Archons. Although Bishou has kind of added in a lot of that as well. Though he is down those 2 upgrades still, so if there was a fight, I do favor Stormtoss a little bit here. This game has definitely evened out a bit, though, I would say.
Yeah, it's incredible how even this game is. And the upgrade advantage is now also gone because it is 2-0 against 1-1. Yeah, so pretty even. And I think in late game PvP like this, oh, hold that thought. Stormtoss really not in a good position. So many units are so far behind, not in the fight. And nice concave for Bishou. There's no way that Stormtoss is gonna win this fight with that concave, I think. That being
well,
said,
you say that, but there was there was a
winning.
bunch of units that came in from Stormtoss reinforcing, and we have like a group of zealots here just above the fight that weren't engaged for Bishou. So while the armies look to be about the same size and same unit composition, he had some army not in the fight, and Stormtoss had better reinforcements. So yeah, it looks like Stormtoss is just going to win the fight and the game. GG.
Wow, GG. Yeah, Stormtoss eliminates Bishou here, eliminates his country mate, and advances to the decider match against Zabeth. Okay.
Yeah, so this was the first match, was it not? Stormtoss against Sabbath? PVT?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. You're right. So that was the game...
Yeah.
where
Go ahead.
Sabbath went 6 gateways, 6 factories, of course, like a 6 factory all in, out of 2
plus
bases.
1,
Yeah, it worked
does
out
he
pretty
have-
nicely.
Yeah, does he have any more tricks up his sleeve? Because I mean, Stormtoss is going to know that now, right? So he's probably going to be expecting something like that, and be better prepared. Yeah, a bit worried. We'll see. Like, will we have a Terran move on to the round of 16? I don't know. Unable to join the game.
Yeah, I started the game already without you. Okay, you can join now.
MasterReY is just too excited to get into these games.
Yes.
Can't blame him for that. All right.
Okay.
So first map will be Optimizer.
Okay, so again, this is an elimination series. So again, a best of 3 here. I'm
definitely got to take that shift tab off.
Yes. I mean, there are 2 different races. You can still do it, but
yeah, that is true.
Both the same color is still difficult. Yeah. Okay, overlay is prepared. We are in the game, so let's jump in. Okay, so the map is optimized, and in the bottom left we have our green toss. It is Stormtoss.
All right, and in the bottom right we have our magenta Terran Sabbath from Argentina. So, what are we gonna have here? I don't know if that 6-fact plus 1 all in will necessarily work again. It's a bit of an interesting map. There's definitely options here. We'll have to see if any player wants to do it. They aren't sharing the same side, like both left or right, so that middle base can come into more of an effect. Easier to take for like a Protoss or something. Can take that third base kind of at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock in this case.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely important where your opponent is in a PvT, and depending on that, you choose your expansion, or both players choose their third expansion location. But yeah, we'll see if it comes to that. Maybe Sabbath is going for that 2 base all-in or even 1 base all-in again. But yeah, I think on Optimizer it's not really that good compared to Eclipse. On Eclipse you had this high ground and you can siege up your tanks there, and it's a bit more narrow and everything. Here on Optimizer you have like a big open area in front of the natural. So I think it's not as strong here on this map. So we'll see if he still decides to go for it.
A couple of comments in the chat wondering who won the last game. Stormtoss. As you can see, he's in this game, which is the decider match. So, all right. So we do have the gas coming down here from Sabbath. Normal stuff. Going to see that factory start once he has 100 gas there. We'll have to see if he's going to pull guys off gas, or if he wants to go for something like a 2 factory. A little bit of harass coming out of this probe. Going to try and maybe deny this barracks. He is actually going to slow down the construction of it a little bit. But nothing too serious, nothing too critical. Meanwhile, we do have Sabbath scouting out on the map, trying to find his Protoss opponent, but he is scouting the incorrect direction, and we'll probably find him last here.
Yep. Or he will just realize that he is on the bottom left because the probe actually came in so early here. So, do we have the gas workers? We have the Dabbers pulling out the gas workers, so he will go for that expansion. Meanwhile, I mean, Stormtoss did go for an expansion in the first series between those 2 players without even pulling out of gas, so that was definitely not optimal here. So, but that also means we cannot really see what he's doing by looking at the gas workers.
He does have a Zealot and Probe coming in here. What is the reaction like for Sabbath? He's going to need to pull those Marines back right away here. Looks like he will not lose one right yet. So as long as he can get through his SimCity here, should be all right. Going to kill that Probe and just has to worry about the Zealot now. With 3 Marines, it shouldn't be too difficult for him.
Yeah.
And the SimCity, yeah.
Okay, loses 1 here. Maybe we'll lose another one, but overall, I think this is a fine defense. So far, this could still get out of control here, but no, it's totally fine. Usually the best thing you can do with the Zealot is denying the SCV building the factory, but this is already... Oh! This is not good.
Yeah, Yeah, Zella's still alive with 3 HP there. He's lost too many Marines for this. Like, he doesn't really have anything to fight off this Dragoon, so he's going to take a little bit more damage. He does have to pull the SCVs. I don't think he's not going to like die from this, but this is extra damage that is slowing him down.
Yeah, he just like right-clicked on the Zealot and ran his Marines past the Dragoon, shooting them. So didn't really pay attention there. So he pays for that in some lost mining time and some dead SCVs as well. So that's unfortunate. And now 2 goons? I'm not even sure. He's definitely taking more damage here. He's definitely losing like 1 or 2 more units. Maybe an SCV, maybe a Marine here.
Got to be careful with that tank. He does have some SCVs, so he can repair that. Doesn't want to lose that first tank to these shooter goons. That's an easy way to snowball this into a quick loss. Meanwhile, what do we have going on Stormtoss side? It looks like he started a Citadel, so he wants to go for maybe a fast DT follow-up here. And if Sabbath doesn't catch wind of this, he could be in a lot of trouble. He has started mines, so he will have some detection or defense against DTs. Actually, he has a turret started too, so very well aware that this is a possibility. Got to be very careful with those tanks, though. And we do have a starport actually finishing, so he's going to go for a counter drop himself.
Yeah. Oh, this will be a crazy game in a few minutes here, or in 1 minute or so. So far, I think Zabas is actually safe here against everything, except he's going out too far and loses his tanks. He really needs to be careful and should stay in the turret range here, I think. But then this drop could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, dropship hasn't started yet, though.
Yeah.
It has been done for a while, and he hasn't started that dropship. I don't know if he thought he started it and hasn't. Oh, he supply blocked. That's the problem. That's very unfortunate for him, yeah. That's really going to delay his drop here, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay, now immediately starts the dropship, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to have DT drop coming out of Stormtoss because he's got a Robo facility started as well, or just finishing up at the same time as a Templar archive. So he's going to start that shuttle and 2 DTs here, and look to do some kind of DT drop play.
Okay,
drop against drop.
So far, no detection here for Zabas, also no academy. So if this drop is coming into the main and there are still no turrets up and no units, even if there's a turret, the DTs will laugh at that. If the shuttle is just flying over the turret, the DTs get dropped out right next to the turret. He just right-clicks it, and it's quick. It's dead so quickly. The units will not be able to save it in time. So even 1 turret will not be enough here. He really also needs some units, or he needs scan.
Yeah, but is Protoss going to have anything to defend? Like, he's got 2 Dragoons building now, but these Vultures are about to drop in here, and he's got literally 0 units back here. He's probably going to lose a lot of probes here.
Okay, both players will be totally crippled in a minute from now. This will be funny. Oh, can he lay the mines in front of the gateways to kill those goons? Not sure.
He is pulling back his Dragoons from in front of Sabbath space. A couple of Dragoons do pop. They don't get hit by the mine, so that's good for him at least.
Yeah, not the best micro by Zabas, I feel. Like, the mines are really in a place where they don't do anything. And he also didn't focus any probes, so these vultures didn't really kill anything. Here, Stormtoss even trying to help him killing off his Templar archives. And yeah, game is over.
And he just GG's with the DT drop. Yeah, I really thought he would have got a lot more done with that Vulture drop, but unfortunately not. A couple DTs dropped into his main and he just GG's out.
Yeah, with no turret up, no academy even started, there's really no hope against DTs in your base. Yeah, wow. Okay, that was a quick game here.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Sabbath is 1 game away from being eliminated now, even after winning that first game, and you got to wonder, like, are we going to have a Terran in the next round? He's going to have to win both these games to advance.
Yes. Okay. So we are going into the second game between those 2 players. And short look in the chat. Hello Valurex. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, okay. Someone used the bracket command, but I have not set it up for the bracket here, but I mean there's really no bracket. You have Stormtoss, Zoom, Bishou and Webers in one group, and we are in the decider match with Zoom advancing in first place, Bishou dropping out in last place, and now we have Stormtoss against Webers. So that's a bracket right there. If you want to check out more and maybe the previous groups, I did link the Gosuleague Wikipedia page in the chat now. Okay, and you are in the game, right? Or
Yes,
did I start? Okay.
I'm in the game.
Okay, and then let's go. Okay, we have our Stormtoss, the winner of the last game, in the top right here.
And in the bottom left are Yellow Terran Hope, the second last Terran in the tournament. Will he make it? Who knows? We'll find out. It's Sabbath.
You know, sometimes I just forget that the name of the player should come in the end of the sentence. Kind of awkward.
It's all good.
Okay,
But,
map is
yeah.
Eclipse here.
Huh?
Oh, and this is interesting. Eclipse was the map that these two players did play the first game on, and Webers went for that 2-base 6 factorial in, and it worked perfectly. And this is the map choice of Webers, so maybe he feels confident about this map and the strategy and will do the same thing again. We'll see.
Yeah, their positions are reversed this time. I believe Sabbath was the top right last time. We'll see if that comes into play at all. But yeah, that is a good point. We may see something similar coming out of Sabbath. Maybe feeling comfortable here. I will say this is generally a pretty good map for Terran, unless Protoss can do something aggressive, like we were saying earlier. You know, something like they need to go kind of like Grievers or do some kind of a bust or go for like carriers or something. You can't necessarily go straight up standard mass unit gateway man kind of play, just because there's not a lot of places for extra gateways, and there's not a lot of great places to engage a Terran army that's pushing across the map here.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I mean, there's plenty of options. Still too early to tell what players want to go for here. Stormtoss with his famous low APM here at the start appears, and Sabbath with that high, you know, 70, 80 APM against 420 here. So
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, this phase of the game, you only have one base, you have one nexus, you have one other unit production building, so there's really nothing to do. Why would you have such a high APM when it's later in the game and you have like 5 bases and 20 gateways? Then of course you need a bit higher APM, but right now there's nothing wrong about having low APM.
all right, so we do have the SCVs pulled from gas again, so Sabbath probably going to go for standard expansion here. Not too surprised to see that. Meanwhile, we still have probes on gas here for Stormtoss, but as we know, that doesn't necessarily telegraph anything. He could still be going for expansion himself here shortly.
Yep. So to talk a bit more about the thing you said earlier, the Protoss needs to, or the Protoss can't really go into mass units on ground. There are two options he can do. I mean, you mentioned Reaver already. There's another like pretty early aggressive option that is trying to deny the third base, I think. The third base on this map is pretty far away for the Terran, so the Terran has to go out of his natural for a long path in the big open area to take his third, and that's a moment where the Protoss can overwhelm him if he just goes for like a 8-gate speed lot all-in attack. That's one good option, and the other options, of course, you go for the late game, but then you go into carriers. So maybe we'll see that. I have not seen carriers this season so far, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember it either. Maybe one thing, but that said, we haven't seen a ton of PVTs because there hasn't been a lot of Terrans in here, so maybe not a lot of opportunity for carriers yet. But we'll see. Looks like the expansion is going to be coming down here for Stormtoss, going 28 Nexus. Always, you know, a pretty safe, standard, solid build opening here. And the command center is now being thrown down for Sabbath as well.
Okay, and last time Stormtoss went for a second gateway and then added his robotics, I remember. This time he's actually going for a Citadel. Interesting.
Yeah, he might be thinking, okay, Citadel worked so well last game, why not try it again?
Yeah,
And I guess you can't really blame him for that. Will he be going for another DT drop type play? Maybe. Looks like he has started the robo, so probably, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
but
going for
will
another DT drop.
Zebes do the same mistake and only have detection in the front, or will he also get some detection in the back? That's the question here. Academy obviously not started yet, that would be a bit too early, but the engineering base already done. First turret is going up in the natural. So the question is really, will he get a turret in his main base or not?
I'd hope so. I'd hate to see him die, like go out, in the final match, 2 quick games to the same strategy, more or less. But yeah, no, we'll have to see. He's floating that eBay away now. He does have, like you said, that turret at his natural, so he should be safe from any DTs running in. But will he be safe from the DT drop? We do have an armory coming down for him now as well, so he's going to be starting that +1 probably pretty early here.
Yeah. So far, still no academy and no... Okay, now just a turret started in the main base. Again, against a drop, a shuttle that has 2 DTs inside, 1 turret will not do anything. You need units there together with the turret, or you need multiple turrets, one of those. So far, he only has a single turret in the main. He's building another one here at the edge of his base, but that's not really helping if Stormtoss is just flying in from top. But this engineering bay is very nice, so this could help. And when he sees the shuttle coming in, he can prepare. He can like put SCVs around the turret, and I think he's definitely aware of the potential this time, and he can defend.
Yeah, well, he's got 2 tanks even sitting here in the main, just waiting for a potential Reaver or DT type drop to come in here. Just in case. Looks like he's trying to do a bit of scouting with the SCV. Isn't able to get in. Only sees 3 Dragoons there though. Will he scout this shuttle?
Oh,
that SCV was really close.
Yeah.
If he saw that, that'd be really nice for him. It looks like the shuttle is planning on flying towards the natural, which unfortunately for Sabbath here is like the only place that isn't really covered. I don't think that turret quite reaches some of that mineral line there. Or,
he can definitely attack like the bottom few patches here, but in general he can just pull away his SCVs and will be fine. And just make another turret in range of the first turret. So he's not gonna die here for sure. Of course it's not that nice that you're losing the mining time here, but not dying from the fast DTs is already great. Oh, but needs to be careful here. Oh.
Yeah. Almost losing the shuttle there too.
Almost
he is going to get
DT as well.
Yeah. Well, this turret is going to finish up, and he's going to be able to clean up that DT. So yes, he took a bit of damage, but I mean, we got to remember Stormtoss spent a lot to get this shuttle and DT out as well.
Oh, and loses the shuttle. The DT was not inside, but still losing the shuttle is unfortunate. And he's on 1k minerals. What's going on there? 1k minerals. He needs to add like 8 gateways.
Yeah, we kind of saw this in the his game PvP game too, where he got up to, 1.5k there, where some of the battles and stuff were going on. Just focusing maybe a little bit too much on micro and not macroing back at home while that's going on. Like I could see him adding maybe a couple of gateways. That said, he does have his third base finishing up now. Quite a big probe transfer here. But yeah, continuing on with his tech, he does have the Stargate done. No Arbiter Tribunal started yet. Okay, as I say that, he had started it. So we are going to be getting into some fairly quick ARBs as a follow-up here as well.
Yeah, but still on only 4 gates, almost 10 minutes into the game. He really needs to add more gateways. Otherwise, he will just die to a push very soon. Once Zebes has enough scan energy or a vessel. No starport, so scan energy it is.
Yeah, and as we can see, he could also build some turrets too, but as we can see, he's going out for that same strategy with the 6 factory, his +1 just finishing up now. I don't think, Stormtoss doesn't really have enough to defend this. He's going to have to rely on his DTs and hopefully hope that Sabbath doesn't have enough scans.
Yeah. Is the Zealot speed completed already or not? That's the question I have here. No, it's not, and it's not even... Okay, just now started it. I don't think it will be done in time, so we could see the same thing happening compared to the first game of these two players, where the Zealot speed is just not quite ready in time. But he has added a lot of gates now, so he has more gates than in the first game, so maybe he can still do it with some delay of the DTs. Is there even still a DT? I don't... Oh, okay, there's one.
There's one at his third base, yeah. The push has started. Sabbath does have 3 scans at the moment available to him, so that's not too bad. He is going to lay some mines here in between the army. A couple of mines are going to go off, hit a couple of those Dragoons. Right, push is still coming. Like, he looks like he has way more units than the Protoss does here, so I'm a bit worried for Stormtoss.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, again, the gates were too late, and the Zealot speed is also too late.
Okay, here comes the drop, though. There is one DT in that shuttle.
But he needs to actually drop it. Oh my god, this is so close.
Scan does go off and pick off that DT. Now Stormtoss is kind of stuck in here at his natural behind his wall. And like Sabbath is able to just push up in here. He's got to be a little bit careful.
Okay, speed is done and the shuttle is coming. Can he actually do it this time? There are some more... Oh, Arbiter in the last moment. Is there a scan? I don't see a scan. Okay, there it is.
But does he have... How many scans does he have left? He has used a few. Okay, he still has 2 scans back at home. Now just 1.
It looks a bit better for Stormtoss this time. It's not a complete disaster. But it's still pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, he killed most of the tanks, but there are a lot of vultures streaming in here now. What he does have going for him is Sabbath still only has 1 scan available to him. So if he can force that scan out, maybe he can eventually clean this up here. He is breaking some tanks off, so he doesn't really have anything covering these last 2 tanks. Looks like those will get cleaned up.
Yes, and I think, yeah, Stormtoss actually defends this. The Vultures are not getting into the third base, but maybe they are. He needs to act quickly. Stormtoss needs to defend this. There are most of his probes here. He already lost a lot of probes in the natural, and he's losing more in the third base now. This is unfortunate.
Yeah, Vultures do get into the third base here. A couple of cannons are being warped in, but they're not really going to be in time. The Vultures haven't really killed many probes at the moment.
Yeah, he's not focusing. He was shooting the Nexus, he was shooting the cannons, but he wasn't shooting the probes. Okay, now he's actually focusing. But yeah, he could have definitely killed more. So I think... Yeah, no, it's not fine. I wanted to say it might be fine for Stormtoss, but...
Well, there is a third base coming up. We do have a third base done here for Sabbath, too. He is floating it over. Of course, there is that DT there that is going to slow him down from getting it. Will he be able to kill this natural Nexus? How many scans are available?
If he focuses the Nexus... okay.
Okay, I don't think he's going to kill.
Okay. Yeah.
It almost feels like he may have overextended there, especially not killing that Nexus.
Yeah,
he's still continuing to send units across too.
Oh, he can get the tanks up on the high ground again. This is very nice. But does he have a scan? No, he doesn't. Okay, focus.
He has a scan available, but yeah, he's not gonna get it.
Okay, but yeah, okay, he focused a few more probes here. That was definitely good trade for him. And now, if we look at the worker count, it's heavily in Zabbath's favor. And you mentioned it. He has built the third command center. He's not really paying attention to actually taking the third base, but if he does, I think he pretty much has this game secured.
Yeah, he does have an SCV transfer going over there, but the DT is going to start attacking it, so he will be aware of that DT now. Yeah, but has he overextended? He's sending some more units across. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose all the tanks that he has. And kind of throw away his little bit of a lead here. He does have killed a lot of probes, so like as we can see, he is up in worker count. He is losing a bunch of SCVs to this DT though, or 1 so far, but may lose a few more here.
Yeah, the tanks are here, so this DT will be killed off. The turret is finishing. Okay, so he has the third base and he still has more workers, but the difference is not super big.
Oh, he's gonna lose a few tanks here for free. That's not... okay. He does them back, so that's good. I think all his rallies are still on the other side of the map, so he might be losing a few units here for free unnecessarily.
Yeah. Man, this game is still so close. I mean, Debes has more workers, but Stormtoss has basically already completed his whole text tree. But if the game goes along, we mention it. Terran is usually an advantage against ground units on this map.
All right, we do have a little bit of push in here from Stormtoss, maybe. No scan or late scan anyway, so he is going to get close to these tanks. I don't know about continuing to push here. There is some vultures buffering. He is dropping a couple of zealots on these tanks, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Like, he's just throwing away all his dragoons here.
Oh, Arbiter full energy, not doing anything. Oh my god, dying with 200 energy. And all the units are dead as well. Not pulling back really. Oh, the last one, okay.
I don't know about that attack from Stormtoss. Like, he looked like he was getting into a pretty good position, and then he threw away every single dragoon he had.
Yeah, I mean, the stasis was not done. I'm not sure. I think he started it at the beginning of the fight, so he should know it's not done. So why is he flying in with a full energy arbiter that can't do anything? So he should definitely have waited. I mean, if we waited for this stasis to finish, he could stasis twice and have a full round of zealots together with that. That would definitely be a better fight. But now he lost all of the units. But he's catching up in workers.
Yeah. However, we can see Terran is still ahead here in supply count. Just not by a lot, but a little bit. And of course, with Terran being ahead, you got to say he's got a little bit of an advantage here. It doesn't mean Protoss still can't fight. It is 3 base against 3 base. He does have more workers, so definitely Terran favorite at the moment. Still some play left here for Protoss. It looks like he wants to try and clear out these vultures and take his 4th base. Meanwhile, we just have a few vultures running around the map here for Sabbath, just laying some mines, getting some vision, you know, making it hard for Protoss to come in and attack him. And where does he go from here? He doesn't really have room to add a lot more factories in his main base, I gotta say. Like, SimCity could maybe use a little bit of work. He's got things kind of placed everywhere. He could maybe fit 1 or 2 more factories here in a couple of spots, but...
yeah, he could just make some factories in front of the natural here,
yeah,
above the egg, for example.
I think that's what he'll have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, so this game was super, super uncommon in the beginning, like a lot of action. And now we are kinda transitioning to a normal game, to a normal late game. Of course, with the Terran a bit ahead, but it could still be a longer game. That being said, I think Thabas wants to move out again.
Yeah, I gotta say, I feel like Sabbath should be able to take this game. He feels advantaged here. I mean, he's got the supply lead, right? He's got 1-0 done. Ideally, you'd have, you know, at least 2-1 done at this point. But his army is still quite strong compared to Protoss's army. And, okay, maybe he's just waiting for that vessel, and we'll see if he wants to push out here. I think he probably will. It looks like he's planning on it. And the question is Protoss going to be able to stop this? Maybe with a good stasis?
Yeah, one stasis is up here, but only one.
Yeah, like we were saying, like this can be a hard map to fight on with you know, an arbiter ground-based army from Protoss. So we'll have to see.
Okay, so
yeah, here goes the fight.
This is the best fight you can take from 2 sides here, from the right and from the top. But yeah, decent stasis. Okay, 3 tanks, but I don't think it's enough. The zealots are already dead. Okay, there's still a lot of goons. It's actually pretty close here. And I mean, he takes it.
Yeah, that went better for him than I thought it was going to. And now we can see the supplies have switched and Protoss is ahead.
Yeah, that was the best position that the Protoss can fight on this map, because here you have really 2 angles that you can attack from, and this is always what you want as a Protoss. Maybe this was not the best path to take for Thebes. Okay, let's see this fight here. He's losing all his tanks. Okay, and he GG's out. Wow. Yeah, congratulations to Stormtoss then.
Yeah, that was interesting. I really want to see what happened there. Like, I felt Sabbath had the better army and everything. Maybe just bad positioning. There was a shuttle, I guess, that got a couple of drops off, so maybe he took too much splash damage from himself there or something. But
Yeah.
no, well played. Stormtoss does take it on in advance, and another Terran is eliminated.
Yeah, I want to mention one more thing. So here, take into this area where you can be flanked from two sides. There are two other pathways to attack. One is these two high grounds. There, the Protoss can really come from one side only, and you have the high ground if you go to this position. So maybe this could be a bit better, but then you have to go into a big concave here in front of the natural. Or the other path that I think I would prefer is going over the fourth base here. There's only this like very narrow pathway, and you can just kill the fourth base of the Protoss without him actually be able to attack anywhere. It's so narrow here. Okay, but anyways, the game is over. So Stormtoss advances 2-0. And now that's it for this group.
Yeah, we actually have a couple comments in the chat. Sabbath himself is in here saying, I placed the push really bad. One bad fight in TVP, it's GG no matter the advantage. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we said, right? Like, it looked like he was advantaged, but then the positioning, Protoss was able to overwhelm and take it down, unfortunately. So another Terran eliminated.
Oh, here I just see the score screen. I want to show that as well. We can actually see that Stormtoss almost mined 4,000 more resources here, so that could definitely be a factor as well. I mean, he had the Arbiter take out very early. He had the 4 bases up. He had a lot of gateways. Yeah, but what can you do? Okay, let's wrap up the group. Let's go for a quick overview here and recap the results of the group here. So here we are looking at it again. So that was Group G. For everyone who tuned in later, that was Group G. We saw Zoom advancing out in the first place here, winning against Bishou and then winning against Zabas. Yeah, 2-0 out in first place for Zoom. Bishou lost his first game and then lost in the loser match to Stormtoss, so Bishou dropped out in last place with 0-2. And then we had just seen Stormtoss against Zabeth in the decider match, with Stormtoss taking it 2-0, advancing in the second spot of this group.
Yes, so we move on to Group H after that, where there's still one more Terran, one chance to get Terran into the...
Yes, and we will find out if that's happening. Will our last Terran of this whole Gosuleague do it? In Group H, we'll find out. So let's go over the players we have here in the group. We'll just take a look at their ladder performance in the ladder phase of the BSL 10. And we have Quark here using a barcode account in spot 36 here, 2150 MMR, pretty decent stats, so definitely, yeah, good performance, just slightly below his Stormtoss here.
Yeah, interesting to see his games. He usually plays with lower APM and style than most. He's not afraid to mix it up and get dirty in some games, and he's good in those kind of games, so look forward to that.
Yeah, there are definitely many interesting things about Quark, because he's an old school player. I actually was a teammate of him like 10 years ago. We were together fighting for Team Get, whoever remembers that. Was definitely a fun time. So he is a very old school player. He recently came back into the scene and making a splash by having a little bit of a drama against Atosis here on ladder, with one of the biggest rages of Atosis.
Yep.
So, and he's also known for being a very low APM player. So a lot of interesting things here for Quark. So really looking forward to see his games. Okay, and the next player is Darkish. So let's see what he did in the ladder phase.
This one confuses me a little bit.
Yeah, that is that is pretty interesting because I know a lot of players above him actually got seeded into Chobo League.
Now this is what I was gonna say. He is in Chobo League as well. I've seen his name in Chobo League, so maybe a wordy can shed some light on that or something.
Okay.
Because he's in the chat.
Okay, we have a player playing in Gosu and Chobo League at the same time. Interesting. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
we're waiting for information about that. So that's a bit
I'll
weird.
check the brackets, but I'm pretty sure. I'll check those Chobo League brackets, but I'm pretty sure.
Maybe it's actually. Yeah.
Darkish was a last-minute replacement for Kamazurg to avoid 2 walkovers.
Ah, okay, so he's not playing in Chobo League. He was seeded into Chobo League initially, but then got into Gosuleague by replacing someone. Okay.
He did play in some Chobo League games though. He finished second in his group.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so,
wow.
So
okay,
maybe he is actually playing both. Yeah, I think he is in the next round. So there you go.
Okay, yeah, interesting. So, but he's definitely our lowest ranked player in the Gosuleague here so far. Also, he played a lot of games, so this MMR looks to be his pretty much like yeah, what I want to say is he's not going up by a lot by playing more games or so. This is his actual MMR, it looks like. And that's below 2k, definitely a bit lower than the rest of the players here. So he maybe has a hard time. But then again, if he already advanced from his Chobo League group, he maybe has a shot in the Ghost League as well. Okay, so that's it about him. Then the next player we have here is a Zerg from Chile. It is Toski. Let's see where he ended up in this group. 2060 MMR in 75th place with pretty nice win rate. So in this case, I would say if he plays a few more games, he could even go a bit higher. So yeah, pretty average MMR, I would say, for the Gosuleague.
One below Otersis there.
Yeah. Okay, and our last player is the Polish Terran, our last Terran remaining in the Gosuleague. Let's see where he ended up. Well, he did not use his Tarzan account, that's for sure.
He's ZZAA on ladder. He's actually the spot right below Toski.
Ah, okay, wow, okay. Yeah, and also almost the same stats as well, that's crazy. That's very similar, yeah. Okay, so we have Darkish below 2k, then we have two players here around 2050, and then we had Quark being a bit higher here at 2150. So we'll see. So I guess we have the favorite of the group here, but you know, everything can happen. A Zerg can easily just bust a fast expansion of the Protoss with some early Hydras if the Protoss is not scouting it, and then we have a completely different group anyways. So yeah, let's find out what's happening in this group.
Yeah, last week when we were casting, I heard a lot of good things about this, and everyone's like, oh, is Tarzan playing? He's going to win. So maybe we can have a Terran advance, despite him being, what, third in the group MMR-wise. It's pretty close, so maybe.
Yeah.
If he lives up to the hype from last week, then maybe, yeah.
We'll also see him in the first game because it's always the first player against the fourth player in this group. So we have Tarzan against Quark here. And the game is loading. I'm preparing the overlay here, and then we can jump in.
So yeah, we'll be on Eclipse again.
Okay, so again, this game will be a best of one. Only the series where one player can get eliminated from the tournament are best of 3 in this round. So the first 2 games are best of 1.
Bishou did not progress. He was eliminated in the last play.
Yep. Bishou was actually our highest ranked players, I think, in the last group. He had the highest MMR, but he actually dropped out in last place. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. So here we can really see that the MMR doesn't mean a lot Also very visible in Group B, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, so the game is loaded here, and I think we can now join. Have audio on mute. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, audio is fine for us. Must
Yeah,
be
I think
you.
it's just him. That's him. Yeah.
Okay, so now the game is loaded. Let's jump into it. So in the top right corner here of, again, this map of the first series, Eclipse, it is our interesting, aggressive, low APM Protoss Quark.
Who is showing his low APM here at the moment, sitting here at a nice 70-80. It's still early though, of course. And then in the bottom left, we have the legendary, I suppose, or hyped up last Terran player in the tournament, our brown Terran Tarson.
Yeah, so he as well did play StarCraft 2 for a while, also did pretty well in some tournaments. I think he also did some commenting or some casting in StarCraft 2. So he's definitely a known player in the StarCraft 2 scene. Last time we also heard that he was also a very good player before StarCraft 2 came out in the Brood War scene. I personally cannot remember him from 10 years ago, but we'll see. So definitely a lot of hype around both of these players here.
Yeah, we do have an early Nexus coming out of Quark here, which Tarson will scout here. Anyway, so we'll have to see what his response is to this.
Oh.
Now, Quark is really known for mixing things up and doing unorthodox kind of strategies and getting dirty. So I really want to see what his plan is coming off of this.
I think I know what this is. So
okay.
he did make a thread on Team Liquid about this build order, I think, if it's the build order that he's playing here. He goes for a fast Nexus to make the opponent think that he's going for a very economy heavy play, but then he cuts probe and goes into fast 2 gates and overwhelms the Terran with a lot of goons. So that's the plan of the build order here. It looks like an economy build, but it's actually a very aggressive many units build. But I don't really see how it can work when the Terran is just scouting everything.
Yeah, I mean, we can already see that he's done this. He's cut a lot of probes.
Yeah, that's a build. That's a build. You can go on Team Liquid. There's the forum and look for the build order. It is like 12 Nexus 2 gate all in or so by Quark, and yeah, you can read the build order. But I mean, Tarson is seeing everything, so it should not work in theory.
It looks like Tarson's actually going to try and bust down this command center. He's pulling most of his SCVs here. Quark is going to see that this is coming now, though.
This is exactly what Quark wants at this point. I have read in that thread, so I really read that thread. He wants the Terran to overreact and try to deny the expansion, but then he has such early 2 gates by cutting probes that he can easily kill the units. But I mean, Tarson losing those 3 or 2 Marines here early on, he decides, okay, he doesn't want to do it and goes back. So really eventful strategy already, or eventful game.
Yeah, interesting to see that he pulled those back. Maybe Tarson read Quark's guide and is like, okay, what he's doing to me now. But no, we'll have to see. We do have a few more SCVs for Tarson because of all the probe cuts we had there out of Quark. But with that second Nexus, he will be able to catch up quite quickly. And, all that extra income is going to help him. We don't have a command center started just yet for Tarson, but it looks like he's saving up for that to start right about now. There it is.
Yeah, we have a little comment in the chat here. So he pulls 10 SCVs and then turns them around halfway across the map. That feels like an auto loss. Yeah, and if we look at the state of the game here, that command center will still need a long time before it's finished, and that means that Quark can actually pull ahead quite a bit in workers if he actually chooses to produce a few more. So far he's not doing that all the time, at least.
Well, he has started a robo. We'll see. Does he want to just get that for obs, or is he going to go for something aggressive, maybe some kind of drop or some kind of a bust? Reavers, I don't know. Looks like he's sending a probe out to possibly take a third base here as well. Oh, that Vulture just missed it. Maybe. Oh no, he's going back. Will he get it before the next starts? I think so.
Yep, no 400 available here for Quark. Yeah, but what is he doing here? So he's actually getting no observer from his fast robotics. He's actually getting a shuttle straight up. So that's that usually means he's going Reavers, but then again I don't see a robotic support base, so that's interesting to get the shuttle out first when you can't actually move out because there could be mines.
Yeah. Well, he is getting obs right after this, so maybe he's just gonna, load up those 4 zealots and either try for a bust or just, maybe try and kill a couple of tanks with those 4 zealots early on here and not even, pressure with the dragoons or anything. Observer is started, shuttle is out. We'll have to see. He's gonna load up those zealots, I imagine. Still no third base coming out from him. He's not making any attempt whatsoever to try and retake that third where he sent the probe over. So changing his game plan up maybe here a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing he can do right now. He cannot go out on the map because there could be mines just in front of his dragoons. So before he has an observer out, he cannot move. I think now that he has the observer out, he will immediately go to that third base location and take it. But first of all, we have the shuttle flying in with 4 zealots. Wow, okay, maybe it's sitting there, but okay, now it continues to fly.
What will it get done? If he drops those behind the mineral line, gonna run into some mines, though. As we know, it's just zealots in there, so he probably wouldn't mind too much. Feel like they're more for trying to kill some tanks. Moving these dragoons across the map now, though, so maybe he's gonna try and do an early bust here on our Terran player.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing Quark would do. So there are no mines ahead of the wall here for Terran, and the 3 tanks are all in the same position, so a zealot bomb here would be pretty nice. Now let's see. Okay, it's in range of the bunker, so I'm not sure. There are also some vultures. I don't think he can actually push in here. I'm not sure actually. Since there are no mines, it could be dangerous.
Yeah. It's not gonna stop him from trying. It looks like the shuttle is flying in to drop those off. Tarson sees this. Oh, dragoons are running in, but he didn't unsiege the tanks in time to react to that shuttle, so they will be able to kill those dragoons, yeah.
He needed to focus the middle of the goons all the time, but he shot his own tank for a bit there.
Nice SCV blocking here. He's got a couple SCV. So he is going to kill a lot of these dragoons off. I think he is going to defend this.
Yeah, but he lost some SCVs, but in the end, yeah, it was fine, but I think Quark is really far ahead here. He has more workers, he has way more supply, he has a lot of gates already, and I think he will just take a third base very soon.
Yeah. His spending did get up while he was, executing that attack, kind of showing his lower APM. We can see he's at 120 still, but while that attack was going on, he banked up over 1,000 minerals, not macroing back at home. But now he's adding on, a couple more gateways to Citadel, so it looks like he's actually being committed here to staying on 2 base pressure, and he's going to go for another attack shortly with a couple more gateway rounds of gateway units here.
Yeah, definitely not a third base here. He's just going for mass gateways and now even getting a Stargate. So wants to go for like 2 base Arbiter here with Temple Archive also coming up, but before we see that Arbiter, I think we'll see another attack by him, but there's a Vulture actually coming in, killing some probes here in the main base. Yeah, getting 2 probes, not too bad.
Yeah, worth it for 1 Vulture for sure. And a little bit of scouting information, seeing all these gateways, knowing that Protoss doesn't have a third base yet, or assuming. But he is sending that probe out now, gonna go ahead and take his third base. Looks like another bust attempt will be coming here shortly. He's not gonna have Zealot speed done for this, but Observer floating in, seeing what's going on. Shuttle loaded full of Zealots. We got, a control group and a little bit of units out here, so well, we're just waiting to see if he's gonna pull that trigger.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I don't think he can do it. I think there are even more tanks compared to last time. Yeah, 2 more tanks. Oh god,
Well, here he
but he's
goes.
doing it. Yeah, let's see. Zealots on the top. Yeah, nice zealot job here. But yeah, you can see the goons are just getting completely wrecked.
He did unsiege all of his tanks. He did manage to kill a few of them, but Tarson's still holding on here, still defending. So, so far the bust attempts have not been overly successful. He has delayed this third CC. I mean, he has been keeping the tank count low, which is always good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Arbiter is building stasis. Okay, no, energy is researching. So that Arbiter will have a lot of energy. I think the upgrade will finish first. I'm not sure about that, to be honest.
All right. Well, we just have a couple of vultures scouting around, seeing if there is a third base coming from Quirk. Seeing there's nothing on the bottom of the map, so he's like pretty confident where he's at in this game. Looks like he lost another SCV building that command center. He's going to send it back. I think it'll eventually get finished in this game, right? Meanwhile, we do have 4 factories here out of Tarson, just going ahead, massing up. Happy to sit behind his wall here, while placing a few mines out on the map, just scouting around, seeing what's going on. And Quark also happy to just kind of sit back, get his third base up and running here momentarily, and wait for that Arbiter to pop out.
Yeah, and I think we will see a 2-1 attack here by Tarson. He's getting the double upgrade right now in the armory. And I guess when he takes his third base, we'll see a lot more factories. But I have to say, Quark's third base is pretty late as well. So he's just now sending the probes, now that Tarson is actually also sending his, taking his base. So they both have it almost at the same time. But Quark way ahead in supply. So, and he also has the Arbiter out already. It's already done here. So I think Quark still ahead here. Also worker count set. Basically everything ahead except the upgrades. They're still on 0-0. First upgrade is researching. Meanwhile, Tarson already has the 2-1 completed almost when Quark has the 1-0.
Yeah, so that'll be good for him. Probably, like you said, we'll see him push out once that is done. Meanwhile, he still has this group of vultures just kind of roaming the map again, making sure that Protoss isn't doing anything sneaky or taking any bases he doesn't know about. And so, again, seeing no bases, he's pretty comfortable knowing that Quark here is only sitting on 3 bases. He is taking that 4th base now, about halfway done. So it'll be a little bit before he gets that up and running, but he is starting to add on a bunch more gateways now, going up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gateways. Once this Arbiter almost has enough energy for stasis, has it been researched? Looks like it's almost done now.
Mm-hmm.
So he will have a stasis available to him shortly. Is he going to try and go for another bust? Maybe try and take out this third base, which currently isn't super defended by any tanks or anything.
Yeah, and yeah, okay. But it's definitely dangerous to go in the third base here. And I think with the mines in front of it, when Quark is actually showing up here with goons, he will move some tanks over, and I don't think he will be able to get in there.
Yeah, supplies are pretty similar too. So I think I like Tarson's position here a little bit better. Just based on the upgrades, the fact that he's about to have 2-1 here, and armies are basically the same size, like the 5 supply difference and 5 supply difference in workers as well. So really the army count is pretty much exactly the same, which should favor Terran.
Yes, and we also, I mean, we mentioned in the last group already, this map can sometimes be difficult to play for a pure ground army for the Protoss. That being said, we just see the Stargate, the Fleet Beacon, and the second cybernetics core going up in Quark's base.
Ah, yes. So we are going to be going into a carrier transition for him. He is going to have to get rid of some units. He can't really start too many carriers at the moment, but I'm sure he's anticipating a battle will be starting very soon, and we'll be able to start a couple of carriers here when that happens.
Yeah, maybe we can see a little recall and then refill that supply with carriers.
Yeah, recall is just about ready. It's almost finished researching here. does he have an Arbiter with recall somewhere? So, yes. There is one going towards the bottom of the base, so that seems to be like his plan. Maybe gonna fly in towards the natural into the main.
Yeah, and Tarzan is not upgrading anymore. Okay, now he's now he started the
Cast
2 more
Curse.
upgrades. Yeah, is he just sitting here and maybe takes a 4th base in a few seconds, or is he actually pushing? I mean, he's maxed out. I think he has to decide now what he wants to do.
Well, the Arbiter is coming in now. Looks like he's about to fly in and go for a recall.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
he's
really
just gonna
see
sit over the
that
natural.
doing anything. I think
He's sitting at
recalls
the natural. Yeah.
are general not really good if the Terran is still sitting in his defensive position. When the Terran actually moves out on the map and then you fly in and do a recall, that's very nice. But if the Terran is just sitting here with a lot of units, you can see the vessels in the back, he's fully prepared. If you just recall, you're just throwing away units at this point.
Yeah, and the problem too is you're not going to be able to get really a second base location with a bunch of gateways. So if you recall and Terran pushes across the map and contains you into your main base, all of a sudden you can't get units out on the map, especially if he's able to clean up whatever you've recalled. Then you're not going to be in a good position. So you do have to be a little bit careful about recalling, especially on a map like this. But we'll have to see. Looks like that Arbiter that was at the natural is now flying towards the 3rd base. Maybe going to try and do a recall there instead.
Where is it? I don't see it. Okay, I see it.
Just
okay.
Yeah, he's also building a pylon kind of near there too.
Okay, but Tarzan is moving out, or not a single Goliath. That's unfortunate. So there's an observer. He sees it with the vessel, but there's the Goliath.
Okay, he should see these arbs flying in. Okay, he is going to move back, seeing these arbiters flying in now.
Oh, 2 of them even. Wow.
Yeah.
Double recall.
First recall.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I said. He's doing it the moment that Tarzan actually moves out. So this is perfect. He will do a lot of damage now. Can maybe even kill the vessel here.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's even got enough that he could stasis here on the ramp, prevent Terran from getting back into his main to save his forces. This is a lot of damage here coming out of Quark now.
Yeah. Very nice recall. Double recall into stasis on the ramp. That was perfect. This is what I love when Terran is moving out. Okay, but Tarzan, I guess he wants to attack now. I mean, that's a lot of supply in the base of Tarzan, so Quark doesn't have a lot at home here. So this attack could also do a lot of damage. The vessel is pretty low. If he loses that, then an Arbiter could really do some damage.
And like we said, like he could cut off the supply reinforcements coming out of Quark normally, but he has gone up to those carriers, as we saw. He did tech to those carriers. He has 3 out. They're building their interceptors now. And Tarzan really doesn't have a lot in this army to deal with carriers. He's got 1 Goliath and a couple of Marines.
Yeah. Can Tarzan actually kill some bases? If he just takes the natural, maybe kills all of these buildings in the natural, but then loses all of his tanks, that will not do anything.
Yeah, there's not even, like, Quark doesn't even mind losing the natural at this point because it's not even mining. There's no resources left here. We are seeing some tanks being split off towards the 3rd base. If he can take out the 3rd base, like, maybe, but there's a lot of carriers here. Where are the Goliaths? Has he started producing? There's still units in his main base killing all the supply depots.
Yeah.
That he really needs to clean up here.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why Tarzan decided to attack the natural here. This seems like the most useless spot here for the Protoss. So, and now he didn't actually kill a single base here with this whole army with like 12 tanks or so. He didn't kill a single Nexus, and is
he
losing
almost
every
got
unit.
that Nexus. 81 health for that Nexus. Now down to 80. Does survive. Yeah, I almost would have liked to see him maybe split off, try and kill that 3rd, and kill that base in the bottom right. Because, I mean, the carriers can only be in one place at once, right? So they could either be defending the 12 o'clock there, or he can be defending bottom right. But as it is, Quark keeps all his bases, clears up the entire army of Tarzan, killed so many depots, a couple of factories. There's still a decent number of tanks here and a few Goliaths, but I don't know if he's going to have enough to contest with what Quark has now.
Yeah, I think this game is pretty much over. Even if he can hold and survive here. I mean, his main is outmined. His natural will be outmined very soon. We see some mineral blocks below 100 minerals. So he's really only on one base against 1, 2, 3 mining bases of Quark very soon. So there's really no hope for Tarzan here in this game, I think.
Yeah. Quark's even taking the would-be fourth base of Tarzan here. A couple of zealots dropped in on top of these turrets. These carriers are going to be able to kill them. A few dragoons flying and walking in here as well. Tarzan did take a base here, kind of bottom right, but Quark is building a pylon there. I don't know if he's just going to try and build some cannons and kill it with cannons or what. But yeah, probably going to lose all these dragoons here, but I don't think Quark minds too much. His army's just so much better. He is going to kill this CC. Down it goes. And what can Tarzan do?
I think he can not do anything. His base now needs to lift. So he's actually not mining at this point, except the 2 remaining blocks in the natural, which are outmined in like 70 minerals. Yeah.
Well, it looks like Tarzan may want to try and do a one last push or something, but I don't know if that's going to work. Like, it's pretty dire for him. He's got no mining. He's got a smallish army, and Quark is almost remaxed, mining on, like I said, a bunch of bases. So, unfortunately for our Terran player, he will go into the losers bracket. He won't be eliminated yet. Still has a chance to get a Terran through, but yeah, Quark will advance into the winners bracket here, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Okay, so carriers are under attack. Is not losing 1, 6 HP, okay. It's not finishing it off. 6 HP on that carrier. Next one is going down. Yes, this one is dying, but yeah, you can see. Goliaths are dead. There are still like 6 carriers. 9 carriers, wow. So many carriers here. And he will now just lose all of his tanks. And with that, he really has nothing left in this game.
Yeah, we can even see Quark has more than 100 supply over Tarzan here.
But less than 100 APM.
Yes, at the end of the game anyways. GG
Okay.
is called, and Quark takes the game and moves into the winners bracket.
Yes, and with that we'll go into the first game of the other 2 players, the second game of this group here, between nobody, it looks like. So it looks like we have a walkover here. Interesting.
Oh,
let me see if we have some information about that. Yes, we have information. 1 second. Toski wins Darkish by walkover. Darkish was the substitute for Kamizerk, who dropped out. Okay, so yeah, Kamizerk dropped out. Darkish replaces him. Highest ranked Zerg from Gosuleague. So Kamizerk is a Zerg as well, so he has to be replaced by a Zerg to make it fair for the other players in his group, so they don't have their preparation against Zerg wasted. And yeah, Darkish, being the highest ranked Zerg in Gosuleague, agreed to replace Kamizerk here. But that was but that was this whole discussion was already a tiny bit too late for that first game. Yeah, it looks like the group started with Kamizerk actually being there but having PC issues, and then Darkish replaced him as this first game was already playing. So it was a tiny bit too late then to still play the first game. Yeah, so yeah, very unfortunate. I mean, Kamizerk having PC issues, so basically Kamizerk loses by walkover, and then Darkish replaces him for the remaining games of the group. That's maybe a better way to look at it.
Okay.
So not Darkish fault here to get the walkover loss.
Okay. So the winner's match would be Quark against Toski, and then Darkish against Tarzan in the losers match.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, we are going into the winners match now. Quark against Toski. Thanks for the follow, and also thanks for another raid by Oya. Thanks for all the support, guys. And now we have the game loading up. Overlord is getting prepared. Overlord, overlay.
They played this one on Reap the Storm instead of Bombast BSL.
Oh, that's a rule break in my book. So I think both should be disqualified here. No,
Only one person moves on. Only Tarson moves on then. No.
We have our Terran. I mean, that's how you can force your Terran into the round of 16. But anyways,
just
okay.
these players.
They will just play Reap the Storm, the normal version without the BSL logo. And yeah, the game is prepared and we are jumping into it. It's okay. So on the left side of Reap the Storm, we have our Zerg player winning the first series by walkover. It is Toski.
All right, and in the top right, we just saw him beat Tarson in an interesting PVT. We have our United Kingdom Protoss, Quark in the magenta.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw his PVT. I'm interested to see his PVZ now. What kind of different things does he bring to this matchup?
Yeah, I can provide a little bit of background info again for this. Not sure how up to date that information is, but I remember back when I played with him in the same team like 10 years ago, he actually was a very high ranked player and he actually made a replay pack out of his ladder games. He went 51-4, I want to say. I remember it pretty well because I downloaded this replay pack. He posted it on Team Liquid, but then for some reason he removed it like 5 minutes later and never shared it again. But I got it in those first 5 minutes. And in that replay pack, in these ladder games that he played, he did not play any Protoss. He always dodged Protoss because back then on IC Cup you could see the opponent before the game is starting, so you could just leave the game when you don't have the matchup you want. So he only played Terran and Zerg. He only played 2-gate Goon Rush against Terran on one base, and he always played very specific Speed Zealot Corsair attack that hits at 7 minutes with like 5 Corsairs and a lot of speedlots. Maybe he still has this build up his sleeve, I'm not sure.
Alright, well, I guess we'll see. While you were talking, I did notice that Quark was trying to kill a couple of drones here. He was shooting them through the minerals. He got a couple of them really low. One of them was one hit from death there, but he did manage to save them, or Toski did manage to save them. So no damage done there. Probe just going to scout around. I don't know too much about Toski, what his playstyle is like, so interested to see that. And of course, we know Quark, like you said, he may have something crazy up his sleeve. To have 5 Corsairs done at 7 minutes, I think he would have needed, gas and a fairly early core, which we don't see either being started yet. So maybe not quite that build you were talking about. But we'll have to see what he goes for here. Maybe something a little bit more standard.
I'm not sure. We'll see. Will be interesting. If he really is doing that build, then it's so funny that he's doing it 10 years later.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of gas to have that many Corsairs out by 7 minutes. So I feel like he probably would have needed his gas a little bit earlier or something. But I mean, I obviously don't know the specifics of the build, so it's still possible, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you only need 100 gas for the Citadel and then 150 for the speed, and then you're only making zealots and gateways, so you don't need any more gas. You can.
Oh, I thought you said Corsairs.
Yeah. You're making Corsairs, so you only need
Okay.
250 for anything else, and then you can spend all of the rest of the gas for the Corsairs, and you
Gotcha.
basically need like 700 for that or so. We'll see. But I mean, that was 10 years ago. We should not talk about that too much if he's not actually doing it.
Yes, but from the Zerg side, we do have 3-hatch Hydra coming down, and Quark is aware of this. He scouted that Hydra den, scouted no lair, so he knows pretty much exactly what he's facing against, except he doesn't know how committed this is going to be yet. Is it going to be a whole bunch of Hydras, or is it just going to be a few Hydras, maybe pick off the wall and macro behind it? We actually see that he is skipping this Stargate, having scouted the 3-hatch Hydra and going for a fast Citadel. No +1, knowing he's probably going to lose his Forge before he can finish +1. and just wants to get his higher tech out quicker. Probably a bunch of speed zealots, I would have to guess.
Yeah, that was very good scouting by Quark. That's super important. That's one of the most important things you have to do in PvZ. And if you can identify that there is no risk of Mutalisk coming to you or so, you can just straight up hard counter the Hydras with mass speed zealots, and you don't have to waste any gas, any minerals on Corsairs. You can just get a lot of speed zealots and get to the storm as fast as possible. And I think that's exactly what we'll see here.
Yeah, I think he might even try and defend this with DT at first too. He sent that Dragoon. He made a Dragoon and sent it out to kill the Overlord that was in front of his base. So he wouldn't have a detection. But as we can see, Toski still has another Overlord close by, and he's sending that in now. So DT will not be able to do much if that was Quark's plan to begin with. Looks like he is instead just getting Templar already and Storm. Yep. So like you said, very fast Storm to help defend this.
Yeah, interesting that he's not researching +1 upgrade. That's usually what you see for Protoss. He's not doing that. I'm not sure if that's like a... I don't think he forgot it. I think that's a decision because of the scouting, or because that... maybe he wants to get the Storm earlier, or he thinks that the Hydras will kill the Forge. So one of those.
Yeah, I figure it's probably one of those. But as we can see, he's probably going to be able to protect that Forge. So had he started +1, I think he would have been able to get that finished.
Yeah.
Especially because he already has a Templar out here. Storm isn't quite done yet. But by the time Storm is finished, he should have right around 75 energy, or maybe a little bit more even.
Okay.
First gateway does go down, but Forge is still okay for now.
Yeah. He's already making another Forge in the main, so I guess he's upgrading there. But Toski is actually not rallying more units just now. He's just making more hatcheries, making overlords, making drones. The worker count is actually pretty low for Quark, I think. I'm not sure about the timing, but this worker count seems pretty close.
Did have a Storm go off. Killed 3 Hydras there. And Toski is just going to go ahead and turn around. But I don't think he minds too much because he wasn't very committed with this either. He just made enough units to look like to put the pressure on, force some cannons, maybe kill the wall, and go from there, drone up. Like we can already see his layers done. He's got a couple of Evo chambers done, upgrading. We do have a Dark Archon here coming out of Quark as well. Interesting enough, it's a bit earlier than you would have Mutas, I think. So I don't know if he's just hoping to Maelstrom a bunch of Hydras and storm them. I feel like that's might be the reason. He's actually even going to kill his own Forge here just so he can get out at this point.
Ah, maybe that's why. He's researching +1 in the main base meanwhile. And yeah, the Dark Archon is interesting. I think usually against Hydras you would rather just save the gas for the Maelstrom upgrade and the 2 DTs and just get like 2 High Templars more, or even a bit more than 2 High Templars, almost 3. Then you just have 3 more Storms instead of 1 Maelstrom. So I'm not sure about that against Hydras. Usually I think it's more against Mutalisk, but yeah, we don't see any Mutalisk here for Toski, so...
As we can see, he didn't even go for a Spire, but of course Quark doesn't know that, so he might be assuming like, oh, there's a Spire on the way, right? You could think, okay, there's going to be a Muta switch, and in that case, he's definitely going to have the Dark Archon ready for that.
Yeah.
But as we can see, that's not the case. He's just going to continue massing up here on the Hydralisk for now, and now he's going to actually even start a couple of Lurkers. There is no Robo done, though, for Quark. It has started in the main. It's about a third of the way done. But he doesn't have obs yet for a little while, so Toski should be pretty fine here. Not die to any pressure here from Quark.
Yeah, I think that could mean if he places lurkers very well, then that would mean his 4th is going up. So far it's not going up at all, but even if it is, it's still undefended. So Quark is seeing the lurkers here.
Oh, wow. He gets a Maelstrom on 2 of those lurkers, so he's going to be able to kill them with Storm.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I would like to see a little bit of a spread on those lurkers. Just so he can't storm more than 1 at a time. But yeah, he is going to get 2 of those lurkers down, so he's going to be okay for now. Observatory has started, just about finished actually for Quark now. So he will be able to get obs and start pressuring Zerg momentarily.
Okay, but is this the correct place to pressure? This seems pretty well defended by a few units, a sunken, already spread out lurkers, and also the 2 hatcheries being here. I would really like to see Quark with a bit more scouting, since he has no Corsair. He really has no scouting on the map. He doesn't see anything. There could be like 3 bases at the bottom of the map, and he doesn't know about it. So he should actually at least send like 1 or 2 zealots or so at least, and then he could actually deny the 2 hatcheries at the 4th base. But since he has no scouting, he cannot do that.
Yep, that's true. We are getting a little thrown a few away just as storms or these dragoons randomly. Don't know about that. That might come back to bite him a little bit here once the ob gets across the map and Quark is able to start pressuring the Zerg base a little bit more.
Yeah, but this attack, it could work, but it also needs to work. Otherwise, Zerg is on 4 bases and it looks pretty bad. Oh, and the Observer just died immediately against this war.
He does have another one flying in here though.
Okay.
Shortly. Where are the storms? Need to get a couple storms. Okay, gets a couple of those lurkers.
And now Observer is back in action. Is there another storm? I don't see another storm. And I think without the storm, there's no hope for this. Oh, but I don't know. He should pull back.
I don't know about fighting with the drones here either.
Yeah, he should just pull back a bit, wait for the reinforcements, and then he should be able to take on pure goons. But now that he actually lost his 10 Hydras or so on the front by itself, this could be the end of the game actually.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
Quark is still just producing only Dragoons here. He's just gonna try and bust him with Mass Dragoon, it looks like. With one Dark Archon, of course, but he is gonna kill this base, which is very nice for him, putting Zerg back down onto 3 bases here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was... In the end, it was a very nice attack for Quark. Yeah, maybe you mentioned it as well, Toski wasted a few too many Hydras maybe trying to snipe Templars, and then in the end he also just fought without the reinforcements for a while and lost another 10 Hydras. So if he microed a bit better, maybe he could have held it, but yeah, well, this Sunken's not going up.
Yeah, I saw that. Pretty interesting attempt there, trying to retake that base, but no, Quark's just gonna back up, you know, make sure his 3rd is secure. He's even sending a probe to the 4th to try and take that. We do have Zealots in production at the moment now. We do have a few. Pretty scary army here from Quark. Looks like he's going to wander around, maybe try and find another angle to attack or a possible another exposed base, which we can see this 3rd base here of Zerg is pretty exposed if he decided to go over that way.
Yeah, not a single sunken, no spore, no lurker, nothing. I think, yeah, he's seeing the space, he can just kill it without any contest. And with that, Zerg is on 2 base, and I think this game is over. He lost 2 hatcheries at this initial 3rd base, and now he's losing another 2 hatcheries. So it's not only the bases itself, the mineral lines, the resources, but also the production in the hatcheries.
We do have a Maelstrom that hits 1 lurker and 1 zealot. But I don't think it's going to matter too much. It looks like Quark just has way too much here. Another Templar coming in for good measure with a storm available. And yeah, with this, I mean, he kills all the units, he kills the expansion, and Quark does advance 1st place in this group.
Yeah, very strong games by Quark. He's... Yeah, he shows that he can... He sometimes has pretty weird strategies, he sometimes has a bit of drama going on, but in the end he's a good player and he had very convincing games here and easily gets out of this group.
So now we got to find out who is going to be eliminated first. Will it be Tarson or will it be Darkish?
Yeah, we'll see about that in the losers match. And for that, as we said already, Kamizerg was replaced by Darkish, and now Darkish was here then and replaced him in the losers match. And that will be on Optimizer. For the first game, it is a best of 3 again.
That's right.
Okay, the game is open, and we are starting it any second. Okay, so just adjusting the overlay here very quickly, and then we jump into the game. Okay, so this is our last Terran in the losers match. Can he do it? We will
No offense to the
see.
Zerg players, but I'm hoping for that. No Terrans in the round of 16 would be kind of disappointing, honestly, from for the casters and for the viewers, of course. But yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I think Tarson should be the favorite in this match, based on MMR, because Darkish was playing in Choba League and got put up into Gosuleague as well. So Tarson had the higher MMR, but he also seems to be well spoken of, and he put up a pretty good game, I would say, against Quark's weird, bust after bust kind of strategy in Eclipse there. So
yeah.
I'm interested to see how his TVZ is.
Oh my god. I just want to do the player introductions, but man, we have a proxy Rex by Tarson. That's pretty crazy.
Looks like it's just an 8 racks. Or maybe he's going to go with 2. He's sending... Okay, no, he's just going to build this supply depot here at the front of his base. Okay, so it's forward 8 racks, so he's definitely looking to put on some early pressure here to Darkish.
Yeah, so for anyone who is not really seeing this a lot or familiar with that, this is not an all-in, this is not a cheese. I mean, it's a little bit cheesy, but not really. The point is you get some Marines out very early to just kill like 2 or 3 drones if you can in the beginning of the game to get a little head start in the economy. So that's usually what this is designed to do. And this is not like a straight up I want to kill my opponent build.
That said, if you can get a bunker down at the natural, you can definitely do a lot, potentially even game-ending damage. But we'll have to see how the damage is. We do, or how it goes, how the control is. We do have the first Marine coming out, and it is being rallied to the top left. Tarson does not know exactly where his opponent is yet.
Yeah,
but
and since
he will find out soon. Yeah.
Since he's scouting the top right and bottom left first, and not the position where his opponent actually is, he cannot start the bunker ahead of time. So if he wants to go for the bunker, it will be super late compared to a game where he scouts the Zerg in the first position.
Yeah, and we do have gas now being mined from Tarson. So kind of it's like Darkish is going to scout this gas, but in the meantime, we do have the SCV and Marines getting to the base, and the bunker has been started. Drone will come out and scout that this has occurred, so he's going to have to pull a bunch of his drones here. Looks like he's going to even pull every drone.
Yeah,
every drone except for 1 to fight this.
That's a bit overboard, I would say. Oh.
That bunker is going to finish, though. This can be very dangerous.
That was an unfortunate drone pull here. Oh man. Yeah, and then maybe this is game-ending damage in this case. I mean, it depends on Darkish if he actually leaves the game, but this is almost unwinnable, I would say.
Oh, he tried to sneak a couple of these lings out to pick off the Marines coming across the map, but he finds one Marine, but the lings were so low that it didn't even wasn't even able to kill it. So yeah, he is starting a sunken here, so he's going to try and save at least this position. But yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to work. Tarson's just going to pull the Marines out of the bunker and kill that creep colony. Or at least do enough to... Oh, that was very nice, actually. He put on a lot of damage so he could kill it quickly if he decided to morph it. Very heads-up play. So here comes the drone pull. He's going to try and get a surround on that bunker with the lings. Will he be able to take it out? SCVs can't even get in there to repair it.
He will take it out,
the bunker, yeah.
But in the end, he has 6 drones left after all of this. Nothing mining in the main base, nothing even building in his larva. So he has 6 drones and 6 Zerglings here. And okay, 3 more in the main. So I don't think Tarzan is going to die to this, and he even has a Vulture out, so this will kill all of the Zerglings if microed correctly by taking not a single point of damage, so
Yeah.
looks like a very rough situation for Darkish.
Yeah. He did take a little bit of damage on that Vulture, but he saved it, killed a bunch of Zerglings, and now he's going to go towards the main. And the Sunken looks like it will be done in time. But that forces another drone just to be turned into the Sunken. Like, he had to spend another drone on that, plus the resources to make it. So Tarzan's in a very commanding position. I'd say he even has 2 Vultures out on the map. Looks like he's going to lose one, though. Bit unfortunate for him. But he should still be fine. I mean, he even has a Wraith started now. And what is Darkish going to be able to do about this Wraith? Like, he has no anti-air coming anytime soon. Like, he's not even going to be able to get out Spore Colony or Hydras or anything to deal with this. So I think, you know, upon seeing the Wraith enter his base, he might just GG out right there.
Yeah, that could be happening. Oh! Oh my god, that Zergling almost glitched through the barracks here. Was just like a millimeter below the Rex when it landed, so it just was almost glitching through. That would be a nice scout when he actually scouted the race, but yeah, he wasn't able
Looks
to
like
go
he
in.
still might. A couple more Lings are getting in.
But I think now it's too late anyways.
Yeah.
The race is already at his base now.
Yeah, he does scout the starport, but like you said, yeah, Wraith is already here. And he's got nothing to deal with this. Yeah, he's just GG as soon as he sees the Wraith. All right. Oh, asking if it's a bow 3. Yes. All right. So Tarzan does win that game. He still needs to win one more to go to that final match, but looking well to do that so far.
Yeah, we have some interesting chat here in German. I will translate it for our non-German viewers here.
And myself.
Oh God, Tarzan still exists. I have played against him 15 years ago. He really beat my ass. So yeah, Tarzan looks like he is a very old school player. Also, just more hyping here. Tarzan is master power, awesome, great, magnificent, perfect Terran from other galaxies. Okay. So the Tarzan hype is real here.
Yeah. Yeah, matching from what we had last week where everyone was kind of talking this guy up. So maybe we'll get a turn through, maybe. He's still got to win one more game against Darkish here before even going into the final match. So we'll see if he can do that first.
Yes, and the map will be Polypoid here, and we are going into this game already. Tarzan is ahead 1-0 here. This is a best of 3, and now this time let's actually try to introduce our players here. In the bottom right corner of Polypoid, it is Tarzan.
And in the bottom left, playing in divisions of BSL this season, it's Darkish, who is 1 game away from being eliminated from Gosuleague.
Yeah, so I think that's actually a record, right? We never had a player playing in 2 tournaments at the same time in BSL. Maybe Averti can confirm, but so even if he loses here, that could be a record that nobody can take away from him.
I'm not sure, because I remember last season I played somebody who was in Gosuleague and Choba as well. I don't know if what happened with that. I think he played in both, though.
Okay.
Then... like a Tauron Spider. I think we casted him in Gosuleague and I played him in Choba or something, yeah.
There was something about that, yeah. Not sure. Okay, yeah, then forget everything I said. Let's see what this game is going to be.
But it is a rare case for sure. I think it's just they'll pull up a couple people from Choba League if there's walkovers or to avoid walkovers league.
Yeah, Averti confirming we did the same last season. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, looking at the builds here, we do have a pool first coming out from Darkish. After last game, he's like, okay, I don't want to deal with 8 racks again, and just died to that. So I'm just gonna go pool first, and if he does do that, I'm gonna, you know, be able to kill him. But as we can see, Tarzan is not going for that, excuse me, forward 8 racks this game. He's just playing a much more standard build with the racks in base here.
Yes. And I mean, Polypoid is a very big map, so I think on this map, the 8 Rex would be even a bit weaker. Yeah, but we'll see what Darkish can do with his early pool. He was saving up 3 lava, so he has 6 Zerglings coming out at the same time. No gas or anything like that, and he's not just going for the expansion after his initial 6 Zerglings. And he scouted the Terran.
And Terran doesn't know that this is on the way. Like, Terran has not seen the links. It looks like Tarson very wisely is sending out a second SCV here, not scouting Zerg in the first position. So he will see those lings coming across the map. Will he react in time? That's the question. Okay, he sees the lings now. He's going to have to pull some SCVs to the ramp right away.
Yeah, there's also no wall this time. Last game it was a wall. This game there's no wall.
Okay, looks like he will get some SCVs on the ramp here.
There's still a little gap, I would say.
Yeah,
but he's fine.
Got to be a little bit careful. Okay. He's going to plug that up. It looks like he should be okay. Yeah. All right, so game goes on. He does scout that there are more lings back at Darkish's base as well. So this is a bit of a heavy commit. Looks like he made 8 lings, I guess, total. Oh, yeah, he had 5 and 3. So where do you go from here as Darkish? Looks like he's got his gas already, so it's going to be some kind of a 2-hatch follow-up. Meanwhile, Tarson's just going to build his command center here in the main base and float it down when it's done a little bit later. Looks like he's probably going to go and add a second barracks here as well. At SCV's position to do so anyway.
Yes. He has
and there it is.
A lot of lost mining time with those SCVs sitting at the ramp the whole time. It was 4 SCVs, just removed one of them and sent it back to mining. But I think he will still be fine here. Yeah, but the interesting part is what will Darkish do with the gas? He will probably start the lair as soon as he has the 100 gas, and then maybe see Mutalisk. Will be interesting.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we do have a 3rd hatch from him as well. So, does he only have 2 drones on gas?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't know if that was on purpose or if that's a mistake.
I think he had 3 initially, and then we removed one.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. I think it was intentional.
Okay. Well, lair is started, so if he's only going to have 2 on gas, that makes me think it's less likely to be some kind of Mutalisk. Because normally you want to get your 2nd gas, and I mean, mine from 2 gases to afford your mutas, right? So maybe it's going to be Lurker? I think you get a 2nd gas with Lurker too, so I'm not quite sure what his plan is with this. I guess we'll just have to see. Meanwhile, Tarson's CC has finished. He's going to float it down and go ahead and take his natural. Looks like the Academy has started or is about halfway done, so type of 2 racks Academy build coming out from Tarson, which is perfectly fine. I mean, this is a very solid build, very good build overall. Like, it gives you a lot of options, right? You can defend a lot of things, and he did get an SCV in, scouted the lair, scouted the 3 hatcheries. So he should know the timings here pretty well and be okay against whatever Darkish has planned, I would think.
Yes, and the lair is finishing now. We'll see the spire. The drone was moving in a weird way, but then it just turned around. Okay, yeah, Hydra Den. Okay.
Yeah, Hydra Den in the natural, so is some kind of lurker, I guess.
There's still a spire at the bottom here. Not sure.
Yeah, it could be a fake out then. To try and, Tarson scouts 1 or something. He's like, oh, it's Muta, okay, and makes a bunch of turrets, and then all of a sudden a bunch of lurkers run in and kill him, or vice versa, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny if you think about it. As a Zerg, you can just build both, and you don't even know what you want to do, and you just wait for the scan, and depending on what he scans, you're doing the other thing.
Yeah.
That could be a strategy here. Not sure if that's actually valid.
Well, we'll have to see where he's going with this. Like I said, because he pulled that off gas, it makes me lean a little bit more towards he wants to go lurkers, because he's not going to have enough gas, you can see, for mutas to get very many mutas out. And actually, he is starting the lurker upgrade, so I think this is definitely going to be lurker here. But there's a push coming across the map from Tarson, and there's no Sunkens ready. There's no units whatsoever to defend or to stop this. Is he just going to die?
Yeah, that could be. The counterattack of the Lynx is not really doing anything, and the Sunkens are not done, and there are no units. Yeah, I think that's it.
yeah, it's hitting before the Sunkens are done. So, I mean, 2 of them are finished now, but the drones are trying to glitch the Marines, but it's not enough.
Nope.
I think that's it. Just GG right there.
Yeah, lurker aspect not quite done. And yeah, very fast best of 3 here between Tarzan and Darkish, with Tarzan taking the series 2-0 very convincingly, very short games. So congratulations.
Well, he stays alive. Does go into that final match, which will be another TVZ.
Yes.
Can he do it? We are about to find out the last player to advance to the round of 16 of Gosuleague. This will be the last series of today.
Correct.
Will we get our first Terran, or will it be one more Zerg? Nothing against his opponent, but I really hope it's a Terran.
All the Zergs in the chat do a crying emoji. Okay,
there's
game
already
is
plenty of Zergs.
Open here.
All right.
Map is Optimizer again. That's a bit weird, I have to say. The map was already Optimizer for the losers match for the first game.
That is true.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe they made the wrong one, and this isn't the bombastic version again as well.
Yep.
It's the normal Optimizer version.
Okay, so game is starting here. I am adjusting the overlay, and score is of course 0-0. Okay, and now we can start the final best of 3 of the day, the deciding series of Group H between Tarzan and Toski. Let's go in.
It's like they're playing on turn rate 12. So yeah, I'm curious if Tarzan tries the 8-rack again on this map. Like he did it last time against Darkish and he won with it. So is he going to do it again against Toski? And as I say that, it looks like, yes, that is the plan. He is sending an SCV out here onto the map.
Yep.
Will it work against Toski? I mean, it worked well against Darkish, so I guess why not try it again, right?
Sure, of course. Yeah, we'll see. And this time he will also scout the Zerg very soon if he uses the same scouting pattern. So maybe it's even a bit better this time. Meanwhile, we have a question in the chat by Edgy Voda, who came in late. Has Quark destroyed Tarzan already with 100 APM? Yes, he did. Well, you could argue if it's really a destroy, but it was a good game and he won against Tarzan. Yes.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game, so I would recommend going back and check it out. I mean, Quark does have his quirky strategies or something, right? So yeah, worth a watch anyway. Yeah, so 8 racks. Will he do it? Actually, we have a pool first from the Zerg.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Darkish is like, hey, this guy 8 racks me on optimizers, so be ready. Or maybe he just like, I think this is a possibility. I'm just gonna pool first, or maybe he just wanted to pool first to be aggressive on this map. Who knows? But yeah. So I don't think he's gonna die to 8 racks here. He may even be able to counter and do some good damage to Tarzan and take a quick win for himself.
Yeah, the SCV is coming in. He will scout the 3x building. He will actually scout the Zerglings itself. And now...
Or not. He turned around before he saw it.
Oh, really?
He didn't see the creep. Okay, now he's turning back. And now he sees the Lings as well.
Okay, he really needs to run to his base, in my opinion.
Where are the Lings going to go? Okay, the Overlord does scout that depot, so Lings are going to go to Quark's base.
Okay, this could be interesting. So Tarzan is pretty much dead here. But what are the Marines doing?
It looks like he's going to build something to make a wall here. It's not going to be enough to stop the Lings completely, but
yeah,
it's going to buy him a little bit of time.
Very little bit. And the Marines are retreating, but he will lose a lot of SCVs, or at least mining time here. But if he can kill off all the Zerglings without losing too much, he maybe can still be fine in this game. I mean, he will force Toski to make more Zerglings or a Sunken here.
Well, if he can get these Lings trapped and blocked by the SCVs, he is killing most of these Lings off.
Yeah, good trade, I
Okay.
would say.
Yeah,
You can
he
see
didn't
worker
lose
count still
too
fine.
much, but yeah. Zerg is, excuse me, a little bit ahead on the worker count. But
Yeah,
I
but
would say that wasn't game-ending damage or anything for Tarson. He can still play from here.
yeah, and, he can just counterattack now, and I mean, he just forces Toski to make here a sunken, so he's losing a drone, and he is making more Zerglings, so a lot of things being built here for Toski that are hurting his economy. He's not making drones, and he is actually spending drones to make the sunken. So maybe Tarson, if he sees that, he can just turn around, and then he did a lot of damage by pretending to counterattack already.
Yeah, looks like he still might want to try and do some damage with his six Marines here. I don't think he's going to get too much done, yeah. He's going to lose one, just turn around. Probably the safest play here. Don't want to throw away those Marines for nothing and give Toski the chance to counterattack you once again. But back at home, looks like his factory is just about to finish up here, so he's going to be able to get vultures out on the map.
Yeah.
Looks like we're continuing to build a few more Zerglings here for Toski, though. So...
Yeah, that's interesting because the speed is still far away. Yeah, but the factory was very delayed for Tarson. Oh, can he get the overlord? I think he can.
But does he want to? There's a bunch of Lings coming in that are going to be able to pick off these Marines. If he gets too dangerously out there, okay. He's going to come back. Might lose a couple of Marines here, but he should be okay.
Oh, needs to micro.
Don't want to lose the vulture though. Yeah. Okay. But this is a nice scout as well. He's going to see the starport.
Yeah, and I think this is a pretty good game for Toski now. Delaying the factory initially, then delaying the starport, scouting the starport, and killing off some more Marines and SCV even. You can see the worker count is pretty much even, which is pretty good for Zerg, and now the Zerg will probably not take any damage against the Wraith or the Vulture, and with that he's in a pretty good position.
Yeah. Still not unplayable. I mean, still get something done. He's going to force something. Like, he's forcing the Hydras to at least come out to defend the Wraith. He's just going to attack the hatchery with that Vulture. Never going to kill it, but, you know, just be a little bit annoying. Maybe force Toski to try and do something about it, but... Yeah. What's going on? Looks like... Sorry,
he's doing like 4.5 damage every shot, so... Eventually this hatch will die, but that takes a
until
few
this one
hours.
Hydra comes. Yeah. And the Hydra will come clean this up. Almost.
7
Vulture
kills.
gets out with 3 health there. Alright. Well, we got expansion started now for Tarson back at home. Add-on actually for his start part, so he's not going to go for that Wraith. Maybe, I don't know if that was because it was scouted or he was planning on doing maybe something different anyway. Because there's no science facility, I assume this is for a drop ship.
Yeah, should
which has not started.
200 minutes. Not available here.
Yeah. He is getting mines as well for his vultures, so I'd say good bet. Oh, there is actually a Wraith out on the map. I didn't see that.
Oh, really? Okay. Did not find any overlords so far. 0 kills still. There are 2 overlords on the map that he could find. But first of all, he needs to defend this attack. But usually against Hydras, 1 bunker is enough if you have the SCVs ready to repair it. Because Hydras are just very bad against bunkers.
Yeah, they don't attack fast enough to overpower SCV repairing them. Much like you'd see Dragoons in PvT. SCVs can repair that bunker.
Yeah.
But we do have a large number of Hydras still being made and sent across the map here. So it looks like he may try and go for another attack. There is a tank out now. I don't think we have any siege, though, and 1 tank isn't really enough to deal with this many Hydras. But the bunker, maybe, but... Well, if he kills a couple of these Hydras for free, it looks like Toski isn't really watching his Hydras here. He's already lost 2 of them. Okay, now he's back, yep.
A lot more Hydras coming, and with the range upgrade almost being completed, this could be dangerous for Tarzan. And I mean, if Toski has like 20 Hydras, then he can actually kill this this bunker. And also he has another Overlord now here near the base, so he can clear the mines. And the siege mode is still not done, so with the range upgrade, I don't think Tarzan can hold this actually. Oh!
He's got the dropship and he loaded it up with his vultures just as the Hydras are coming in here. The Hydras do see this dropship. They're all targeting this bunker, but look at the repair. Look at the repair.
Yeah.
Turret broken or what? Like, no. hard to make that justification when there's no turrets and they're out of 16 yet, but hey. He does defend for now, but the good thing is now Toski does know about this dropship and knows that there's vultures heading towards his base, so I don't think he's going to take too much damage for that. He's already has a couple of Hydras sitting in position here to try and intercept this dropship.
Yeah, and Tarzan still needs to be careful that he's not dying. There are still a lot of Hydras in front of his base.
Okay, mine does go off and kill a few of them, and 9 kills a few more. Oh,
Yeah,
he got some nice mine hits. Yeah.
It's defended.
Right, well, yeah. He killed pretty much every Hydra that was here. And it looks like he will kill every Hydra that was here.
Yeah, and now where are we in this game? I think Tarzan is in a very good position now. This was pretty all in by Toski. He's still making more Hydras. You can see only 2 drones mining at the minerals in his natural. And in general, only 20 drones with no third base anytime soon.
He does kill an Overlord out front, but now he has no Marines in his bunker.
Oh, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Oh, but the Hydras are going to run into the mine. Oh, okay, they are going to pick off the drop ship. But he scouts that there's no Marines left in that bunker now.
Yeah, he could just focus the tanks and then it's over.
This is so close.
Holds this, it's over. Tarzan is so far ahead in economy now. He's 14 workers ahead. He has good mining. He has the siege mode out.
Yeah, he's even started a 3rd command center in his base now.
Yeah, I think this game is over now.
This has been a very interesting game. I've got to say, it's pretty technical. A lot of back and forth, little skirmishes, and it's like been very delicate, but very well played, I would say too. All right.
Yeah.
Looks like we actually have +1 going to finish up for Tarzan's mech here very shortly as well. And going up to 5 factories, yeah. I don't know what Toski can do. I'm liking Tarzan's position more and more here as this game goes on.
Yeah, Toski is trying to get into drones again. He's also mining this other mineral line at the natural. Maybe he wants to take a base there, the 3rd base between the naturals, and then go for Mutalis, because that's a very good base if you go for Mutalis, because you can attack the opponent and basically use the same position for defending your base if Tarzan somehow wants to attack down there. Yeah, and he's getting the Spire, so I think that's what we'll see. He has a lot of gas banked up, but no minerals.
Yeah. Still continue to make some Hydras though. Just as that Spire is finishing, more Hydras are being made, so maybe not. We'll see. Tarzan doesn't really have a lot. I'd like to see some more Goliaths come out from him to deal with that potential. Although it looks like, as I said, that he is producing a few Goliaths. Another dropship on the way as well, and that 3rd CC has finished. So I imagine we'll see him take that shortly. A few vultures out on the map, just scouting around, trying to see where is Zerg's 3rd base. Does he have a 3rd base? He is going to run into this group of Hydras and probably assume it's behind there.
Yes. Meanwhile, another base wants to be taken here by Toski. Drone is already in position at the bottom there. But he really has no minerals. He has no minerals for the Mutalis production. He has no minerals for the additional base. And he's so heavy on gas.
That is true. All right, well, looks like Tarzan's just going to siege up here outside of his base to kind of secure that 3rd base for himself. Not looking to necessarily push out, which I think is a fine decision. He doesn't have a terribly huge army. He doesn't know exactly what Toski has behind. But yeah, he still has that dropship. See if he wants to use that, maybe do a bit more harass. Meanwhile, we do have that 4th base coming down now for Toski. So it looks like we're setting up for potentially a longer macro game here.
I'm so confused by
Toski's
Toski's decision here. He's making like 1 or 2 Mutalisks every few seconds, but then he's always mixing up other upgrades, sometimes a few drones, sometimes another base here. So he's not really decisive in what he wants to do. And now he's actually getting a few more Mutalisks, but now it's already maybe a bit too late, because now the Irradiate is already done for Tarson. It's already researched. The first vessel is already out. Second one is on the way. So I think he kind of missed the timing for the Mutalisks.
Yeah, he does have like a control group worth on the map. He's got like 6 at the top there, 5 at his base. I guess he's going to join those up, maybe hoping to catch Tarson off guard, thinking if he's staying on tank Vulture or something, that he can get a lot of kills. But as we can see, there's a ton of Goliaths here and Irradiate, so I don't think it's going to work out too well for him. Tarson's got his 3rd base up and mining. At this point, honestly, I think we're just waiting for maybe +2, and then Tarson's going to go. Like +2 is getting pretty close to finishing. So a couple more rounds of units, +2, and I think we're going to see a big attack maybe come out of Tarson. But before that, we do have these Mutalisks flying in right towards this dropship in 3rd base. Nothing really in position to help defend this at the moment.
Yes, that is doing a lot of damage. The +1 Carapace upgrade is also finished now. Oh, needs to split! Oh my god!
Oh, no split! No split! Oh no! Literally no split on that. Those Mutas take so much damage. Still no split.
Oh my god.
That was not worth it for Toski there. Losing every Mutalisk except for 1, yeah.
Wow, that was the worst Irradiate I've ever seen, I think. Really, like I think it was 12 Mutalisks actually. Not 11, but 12. And he had it on the same spot all the time. Like the maximum amount of damage that Irradiate can do. Wow.
Yeah. You gotta be feeling pretty good as Tarson now. Like, +2 is done. I feel like he's just gonna unsiege and go any minute here, and I don't think Zerg is gonna have enough to stop him. Like, he's got another control group of Mutas out here, or he's making only Mutas. He's got like 2 control groups of Mutas out here now, and a few Hydras, taking a 5th base even. But how can he stop this mech army? I mean, it's 2-1. He's got a good number of tanks, Goliaths. He's got a couple of Irradiates here. Like, I don't think Toski can stop this.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, he is keeping he keeps upgrading the Mutalisks. He's getting the +2 Carapace upgrade for them. But yeah, since he lost the first 12 Mutalisks, he just doesn't have enough. There are
even
multiple Irradiates out and a lot of Goliaths. Upgrades 2-1 4000. There's nothing Toski can do here. He's even
supply blocked. Yeah, exactly. So he can't even make any more units to help him defend this. Like, he's gonna have to get a perfect surround, and even then, I don't think it's enough. He's flying in here with the Mutas and a few Hydras, but we're gonna see a couple of Irradiates go down, and or a D Matrix even on the tank. All the Hydras just get destroyed. All the Mutas are done, and there it is. GG, well played. Tarson takes game number 1.
Yes. Okay, yeah, pretty interesting game. I mean, we saw this 8 Rex that was handled pretty well by Toski. I think Toski was definitely ahead then, but then he decided to go for that Hydralist all-in, completely cut drones, made like 30 Hydras, but was not able to kill this bunker of Tarson, and then Tarson was just way ahead in workers.
Yeah, that was a really interesting kind of back and forth, tightrope walk kind of game there, but in the end, Tarson does take it down, and he is 1 game away from advancing. So, last player in the round of 16, the only Terran, possibly.
Yes.
He's got 2 chances to do it. 2 games to do it.
Oh, and it is a map that we have not seen so far. I think in the whole round of 32, at least in our cast so far. It is Benzene here.
Ah, interesting. And this will be the Zerg's.
Yes, Zerg pick here, and we are going into the game. Let's go. Okay, in the top right we have our Terran. Last Terran in the Gosuleague, 1 game away from advancing to the round of 16. It is Tarson.
And in the bottom left, we have our Zerg, OG Toski. Well,
okay.
So, like I said, definitely an interesting map. It's like we may have had a bit of a pause there. Above the natural, there's kind of a little ledge cliff that maybe some players can abuse, either with some lurker drops or some tank drops or some vulture drops or something up there to kind of harass the mineral line of the natural base. So interesting to see if either player wants to do that. I mean, because this is Toski's pick, maybe he has some specific plan for that kind of thing. Like maybe he wants to, like I said, drop lurkers up there, or just even use it to harass. We'll have to see. Maybe he just likes a big open map. Who knows? But yeah, no 8 racks. It looks like coming out of Tarson on this time, not wanting to take the risk from last game and run into pool first and potentially die or almost die.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, he's just building just normally in his base. He went for mech in all of the TVZs so far. He always, I mean, he went for the 8 racks, sure, but he went for factory both times after that. I'm not sure if you can 8 racks into bio. I'm not so sure if that's a build or if you always go mech if you go for 8 racks. But anyways, we have seen 2 mech games out of Tarson and not a single bio game, so it looks like he favored that.
He did have that bio push.
Yeah.
Killed the Sunkens.
Yeah, one. Yeah,
but,
right.
yeah, that's. So I think he can probably play both, but we will see what he wants to go for. So far, he hasn't taken the gas, so it looks like this will be an expansion build coming out of Tarson here.
Yes, it's a pretty big map, a pretty long rush distance, so fast expansion is definitely a little bit safer on this map compared to some other maps like Sylphid or Optimizer in close position.
And he does scout that this was a 12 hatch from our Zerg player and does see that the gas has already been taken. So he's pretty confident that he's facing some kind of a 2 hatch rebuild here.
Yeah, Drone denying that expansion for a pretty long time and is still harassing the SCV here.
First Marine will come down and kill it or clear it.
Okay.
All right, well, where do we go from here? Looks like Tarson's going to add that second barracks, so another 2 racks academy type play. I'm definitely a fan of this kind of a build myself in TVZ. And probably, I would say this is probably going to be 2 hatch muta from Toski, but that still remains to be seen. We do have the lair started.
Yes.
SCV has scouted this, so does know that this is a 2 hatch lair opener.
Yeah, first 100 gas immediately goes into the lair here, no link speed. So if Tarson micros this SCV correctly, he can keep it alive until the lair is done and then see what Toski is planning.
Yeah, a little bit harder maybe for Terrans, just because that SCV will not regenerate any put on it, unlike probes in PvZ. But yeah, he looks like he's gonna just run out now. Or no, keep it alive. Okay, that's nice. Meanwhile, we do have the gas being mined and the academy about halfway done, which is a very fine build. I do like T-Rex Academy here against a 2 hatch play.
However,
So,
it is
yeah.
a long distance, so if you want to go for that same push that he did against Darkish, if Toski sees it with an overlord here that he has next to the natural, his Sunkens will be up in time, I think.
Yep. All right, well, Spire is started by Toski, so this is 2 hatch muta. He is going to go ahead and send a drone as well to the top left, and he's going to take that 3rd base and get that going as well.
Okay, first comset stations are on the way, so he will do the scan very soon and probably see that it's Mutilus, and then we'll just be able to get up his turrets in time, I think. So far, no engineering way even started. He's doing that just now that I say it.
Yeah, I was going to say should be started, but it is going down. And imagine we'll get that scan to kind of confirm. And he does confirm that this is 2-hatch Spire.
Yes.
We do have a lot of Lings running across the map here. From Toski. Is he going to try and maybe get in kind of run by, or maybe he was hoping to pick off a Marine group that was moving out on the map?
Yeah, so far Tarzan is staying. He has 4 medics already, and he's just staying in his base. He wants to get a few more. And it is definitely good against this many Zerglings.
All right, +1 has started at the eBay, and I imagine we'll see those turrets thrown down anytime now that the mutas are being built.
Oh. Oh, the Zerglings are engaging. Can they kill the Marines? Yes, they can. That was a pretty good attack, I would say, by Toski. And now only a few Marines left here, and the Mutalisk could do a bit more damage. So far, no turrets up. He's building
Yeah, he's
them
going to
now.
have to... Okay, I was going to say he's got to better start those right away because the mutas are already flying across the map here. With the kill on those Marines, he said he's not going to have he's not going to really have any option to push out anytime soon.
Yeah.
So this game's looking pretty good for Toski so far.
And no turrets at the Rex, so if Toski can somehow get on the Rex and out-micro the Marines here, he could camp the Rex and kill a lot of Marines. But yeah, it looks like he's just waiting a bit longer, and then there's a turret going up. Oh, what's that?
He loses a couple of mutas there for free for no reason. That hurts him a little bit. Good for Toski. Or good for Tarzan, sorry.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to go up to 4 Raxes here. He's got turrets in place, so I don't think he's going to take too much damage now from these Mutalisks. We'll have to see how hard Toski wants to commit to them. He's still building some more. He's up to, looks like 7, 8 coming across the map now. Still making Mutalisks back at home as well.
Oh, again losing another Mutalist without killing a single Marine. Oh, so far, Toski's Mutalist micro not on the level he wants it to be, I think. Lost like 5 Mutalists already, maybe killing 2 or 3 Marines.
Yeah, and now we have Tarzan pushing out onto the map here a little bit. I think he's feeling comfortable having killed a bunch of Zerglings and a few mutas that he can get out here a little bit. There are these mutas he's got to be careful of, though.
Oh my god. Again, 1 Mutalist goes down, not a single Marine is dead. I mean, he forces them, but there are 4 medics, so that is not too bad. And now he's just sprinting across the map towards the 3rd base, and the Sunken is not there. An Overlord will get killed. And if Tarzan stims now and runs in, he can clear this.
Yeah,
but
like
he's just waiting.
He doesn't really have anything to defend this. He's got the Mutalisks coming up now, but okay, Tarzan scans and sees that there's no Sunkens on. Stims and runs in. The mutas are here, but is this going to be enough?
Yes, looks like it is. Can the Mutalist do it? Now he needs the Mutalist micro. But oh, he's losing more Mutalists. Sunkens are down. Can he do it? Another Mutalist goes down.
Oh, yeah. He killed a few Marines, but there's another group or half a group coming in here, and this 3rd base is going to go down. And with that, he is going to GG, and Tarzan is going to win this game in advance. So we do have 1 Terran in the round of 16. Very last player to advance, the only Terran in the round of 16. Congratulations to Tarzan there.
Yeah, congratulations. Man. What can you say? I mean, Toski just he lost so many Mutalisks. He lost like 10 Mutalisks and killed like 5 Marines in that time. So
yeah, bit unfortunate for him there. The muta control was a little off in a couple of those engages. We got a comment from Tarzan in the chat as well saying turn rate 12, no wonder. So maybe the lower turn rate kind of affected his muta micro a bit. Bit unfortunate. But no, congratulations to Tarzan nonetheless. He does advance. And that will round off the round of 16 for BSL Gosuleague.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll go over the group to see what happened here. There we go. So, yeah, first of all, again, for anyone who tuned in later, we have to mention that the second spot in this group was for Kamizerg initially. Kamizerg sadly had computer issues when the group started, so he got a loss by walkover in the beginning, and then Darkish replaced him for the remaining games. That being said, we saw Quark winning against Tarson and then winning against Toski to advance 2-0. Darkish being already down in the losers match because he replaced Kamizerg, who lost by walkover. He dropped out against Tarson 2-0 in last place, and then we had Toski and Tarson battling it out in the deciding match, with Tarson taking it 2-0. So Quark and Tarson advance here. So congratulations again. And that wraps up our round of 32.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the group have been made, but we don't know what for the next round. I'm sure we'll be casting some more of those as well. So definitely tune in and keep following the Gosuleague and BSL.
Yes, I will actually provide some links here in the chat. So on this channel that you're watching right now, on my channel, you will always see myself and Snipe casting together on Thursday at 7:30. So that's pretty much a given, I think, at this point. So there's a lot of Gosuleague action coming on this channel. And on Tuesday, there's also always Gosuleague in the evening, and that is usually being casted by Veer. I will provide the link in the chat. 1 second.
Got a question. What about Group G? We did Group G before Group H. They've were both been casted by us already.
Yeah, we can go over it very quickly again. 1 second. Just finding the Twitch channel of Veer. He renamed it recently, so it's a tiny bit harder. But now I have it. Okay. Okay, so the link is now in the chat. On that link, you can usually see Gosuleague on Tuesdays, and on this channel that you're watching right now, you can see Gosuleague on Thursday. So we can talk about Group G very quickly again. Group G was Stormtoss, Zoom, Bishou, and Zabas, with Zoom taking the first place 2-0. Bishou dropping out 0-2 in the last place, and then Stormtoss winning in the decider against Zabas with, I think, 2-0. So it was Zoom and Stormtoss advancing there.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think with that, we are at the end of our cast here. If there are any other questions, there's your last chance right now. Put them in the chat and we'll answer them for you. Averti is also here, one of the great organizers of BSL. Yeah. And if there are no other questions, then we will end the stream right here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think, yeah, there's nothing in the chat right now, so let's end it. So, Snipe, again, thanks. Was a great cast. Thanks for casting with me. Was awesome as always.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Always a good time casting. A lot of fun, a lot of good games, and hope to see everyone again next week for the round of 16.
Yeah, tune in on Tuesday on the Twitch channel I linked in the chat, and then you can see us casting again on Thursday in the next week for more Gosuleague action for the round of 16. So, thanks a lot for watching, and bye-bye.
See ya.